Hey, Shalom family, what's good? Welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV.
Andrew from the Genesis.
It's your brother Priest Dan, Lions of Israel, Maccabees Alliance Council. Just a little early morning video. Trying to see who's awake. We're trying to see who is awake. It's approaching 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I woke up this morning and I looked out my window and, I'm located in New York right now. And brothers and sisters, when I looked out my window, I had to give the Most High praise, man. It's January, the 11th? And it's above 60 degrees in New York. That's insane. It's above 60 degrees in New York. That's like unheard of. And so when I looked outside and I saw the blessing that the Most High gave us, brothers, when they go to camp, they're not going to be freezing cold today. When you go to camp, sometimes it's so cold, you can't even turn the pages of the Bible. It's so cold, right? Brothers be calling scriptures after scriptures, precept after precept, and you're looking at them like, dang, because your hands are, the cold is biting your hands. Brothers and sisters, sometimes the ones that don't go to camp don't know what we deal with when we go to camp. So the Lord blessed us with a beautiful, beautiful day, man. Nothing to complain about, Shout out to everybody that's in the house. I see y'all leaving your comments. Mika, shalom to you. Mika, you're everywhere all the time, man. I got to ask myself, do you sleep? I wonder, do you even sleep? Because there's not a video, there's not a comment board that I don't see you on when brothers and sisters go live. It's all good, though. Oh, you said no, you don't sleep. I hear you. I know you got children, so you probably don't get no sleep. Let's see who else is in there. Carlos Clark, Muck General, shalom to you. Family, y'all know the drill already. Do I got to tell you, man? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Show your brother some love as you come in the building. Hit the like button. Show your brother some love as y'all creep up in the building. That helps with the algorithm, like I always tell you. More people get notifications that we're live. More people, when they log on to YouTube, will see that we're live. And they'll come on and join in the conversation. Now, I know y'all always make fun of me when I tell y'all I ain't going to be on here long. But I'm going to try to live up to that today. Not unless y'all got some good questions or something. I'm not going to be on here long because I'm actually going to go live tomorrow. I got some guests coming on tomorrow talking about a very important subject. So, thank you, Mika. Let them know. Let them know, Mika. That's right. John Doe, what you laughing at, King? What you laughing at? Anyway, shalom to everybody. So just a couple of announcements really quickly. Number one, y'all know the summit, the Israelite Summit in Fort Lauderdale is February 6th through the 9th. So if you're in the South, like if you're in Georgia, if you're in Louisiana, I ain't gonna say Arkansas, it's probably a little far, but maybe Arkansas. Definitely if you're in the state of Florida, try and make it out to the summit. Try and come and fellowship with brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful thing. When they started having these summits in the beginning, I wasn't going either. I wasn't going either. It was like, contrary to what y'all know, I'm gonna let y'all in on the secret about your brother. I'm gonna let y'all, brothers and sisters, you early birds, because everybody's not on here, so this is just a little secret. I'm gonna let the early birds in that's up early, that's watching my video. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret with your brother, right? I'm a work in progress, family. I'm really antisocial. People that like really is close to me know I'm antisocial. Like I'm not a people person. I'm really not. It's because of how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get too personal, but those that know me know I lost my parents very young. I lost my parents at a young age. So I kind of raised myself. And so I never was really like around my family like that because my family didn't take me in. So I kind of raised myself from like 12 years old on up. I was pretty much on my own. You know what I'm saying? No group homes, no nothing. It was me raising me. You know what I'm saying? My siblings were older, whatever like that. So I was always to myself. That got me in some trouble sometimes, whatever, but I was always to myself. So I'm not a people person, really. You know what I'm saying? I force myself because I can't be like that with my people, especially if I'm going to teach my people. I can't be like that. But outside YouTube, outside of social media, I'm not a people person. That's why y'all don't see me posting a lot of stuff on Instagram or YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Facebook like that, unless it's teaching. Like, y'all don't see me. And it's not, it's nothing personal to nobody. I'm just not a people person. I'm not. But when y'all meet me, I do show y'all love. Y'all know that, the ones that meet me. But I'm not a people person. So in the beginning, I really wasn't interested in going to the summits. But, Mathathua from the house of David, and of course, Allah, they was constantly on myself. And Hashar, because y'all know Hashar is not really that much of a people person either. That's why y'all don't hardly see him. We're just not. Constantly got on us, and so we started going to the summits. I went to the one here in New York, and then I went to the one in Atlanta. And the fellowship was good. It was good to see brothers and sisters who I never met before. Y'all come and tell me y'all watch the channel, and you learn things from the channel. And so that kind of, that helps me, right? It kind of lets me know that I got to continue doing what I'm doing, and I can't stay to myself, and I can't, keep the knowledge and information to myself. Like, I got to come on here and talk to y'all. I got to go to some of these summits and stuff like that. Like, Ash pushed me to go to the Gift concert out in LA because I didn't go last year. And the people, he was like, the people felt a certain way that myself and the general didn't go last year. So we went this year. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say that the summit is February 6th through the 9th, right? If you are in the South or if you're anywhere, just come through to the summit, man. Come through to the summit. If you need information on the summit, when this video goes live, ask me whatever you want to ask me on the comment board. I'll get the information to you. But it's in Fort Lauderdale. It's with the Light of Zion. The camp is the Light of Zion. They're hosting a summit in Fort Lauderdale, February 6th through the 9th. I'm going to go ahead and come, you know what I'm saying, and show those brothers some love and support, because they're putting a lot of effort into that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to go ahead and go. And I would encourage brothers and sisters, if you can come to the summit, come to the summit if you could. Second thing, for the Maccabees Alliance, this is open to any Israelite as long as you are on your best behavior and you're respectful. But the Maccabees Alliance, our Passover, I loaded the flyer up on Facebook and Instagram this week. And tomorrow I'll show the flyer because I'm kind of like on the road right now. I'll show the flyer tomorrow when I go live. The Passover is in Baltimore, April 6th. April 6th, the Maccabees Alliance is having our Passover in Baltimore, Maryland, right? So you're going to have AOC there. You're going to have My Camp Lions of Israel there. You're going to have Apostles of New Jerusalem from Jersey. You're going to have Holy Saints and Apostles from Jersey. You're going to have No Cap, Nation of Kings and Priests. I believe that camp is from Florida. You're going to have UKOIC, which is the United Kingdom of Israel. They're located actually in Baltimore, and they're hosting the Passover. Who am I missing? And a whole host of brothers and sisters. Dang, I hope I didn't miss nobody because I'm going to hear about it. Did I miss anybody? There's some other brothers from Florida, too, that's coming that want to be a part of the Maccabees Alliance. Another camp is coming that wants to be a part of the Maccabees Alliance. Yeah. So look out for that, right? Now, no, not them. They have their own Passover, Augustus. No madness. This is not an occasion for madness. Nope. Roger Parham. Nope. Them dudes is bringing confusion. So no, we're not fellowshipping with nobody that's bringing confusion. Listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm gonna be real. I don't mess with argulites. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I call certain brothers in Israel, I call them argulites. Morning, noon, and night, all they're doing on social media every time I log in is arguing with somebody. Morning, noon, and night, every time they go live on Facebook or they go live on YouTube, it's an argument with another camp. You got a new doctrine, now you want to force your new doctrine down brothers' throats. No. So no, sorry, Salakia. No. No argulites. None. All right? So now I can't fellowship with people like that. All that stuff that's going on with Iran, and you talking about what? You arguing about the 12 tribe chart, and we got something going on with Iran. Trump about to be impeached. Did y'all see on the news yesterday that they said that a Russian ship approached an American ship with hostility? Did y'all see that on the news yesterday? If not, I'll show it to y'all tomorrow when I'm home and I can share my screen. What are we talking about right now? You got the Christian apologists attacking this truth. You got the conscious community attacking this truth. You have goddamn Esau trying to act like the Israelite movement is terrorist and a hate group. And we arguing about what? Doctrine? A chart? Now? In this time? Nah. So to answer y'all question, and no disrespect, man, no. I'm not fellowshipping with no arguelites. This is not the time. Period. And I'm very clear on that. So, matter of fact, I was saying this the other day, I reached my limit on Facebook as to how many friends I could have, so I've been deleting people lately to make room for sincere people. So, those brothers, I deleted them off my Facebook too. I don't even want to see them. We're not in that time right now. Okay? Right. Muck the general. Prophecies are unfolding as we speak. So, I'm kind of sit back and I'm watching what people are talking about on their social media. I might not say nothing, but I'm watching and I know who's who, man. If you're not talking about prophecy in this day and time, I don't see you as a man of the Lord. If you're not teaching our people repentance, if prophecy, repentance are not at the top of your teaching list, like if I go on your YouTube page and I scroll down your videos and you're not talking about prophecy, you're not talking about repentance, you're not talking about the fact that Esau is trying to paint this movement as a hate group, you're not talking about nothing but you just sitting around arguing with other people and that's all you doing, you're not a man of the Lord. And you're dividing and not gathering. We're in the time we're supposed to be gathering Israel. The Lord will separate the wheat from the chaff. The wheat from the chaff, really, when you look at that scripture, is talking about righteous Israelites from wicked Israelites. That's really what it's talking about. We use it to say Christ is going to separate the Israelites from the other nations, the Israelites amongst us that's not of the other nations. But some Israelites in this truth, man, they're tears too. And they are Israelites, but they're tears because they ain't right. I'm going to tell you straight. So I didn't really mean to go off into a tangent. But no, we're not having Passover with those dudes. I heard that they're doing this in Baltimore. They're going to be over there, and we're going to be over there. And that's how that's going to be. Straight up and down. And that's no disrespect, but I'm a real person. I'm real. I don't mince words when it comes to certain things. I'm not fellowshipping with those brothers at all till they get themselves together. Straight up. All right? Right. Like somebody said, people want to push a doctrine instead of reasoning with brothers. And even now, in this day and time, certain doctrines, we don't even need to be reasoning about it right now. It's not time. It's not time. All right? So, yeah, we're having Passover February the 6th in Baltimore. So far, I believe it's like 6 or 7 camps. It's not just open to camps only. Like, if you don't have a place to fellowship and you want to fellowship with us, you want to come through and fellowship with us in Baltimore, feel free. All you got to do is let me know. You know what I'm saying? Where's my thing at? Where is my thing at? I just had it. Anyway, I'll find it in a second. I'm going to give you the phone number that you can actually dial. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to give you the phone number that you can actually dial, and you can reach out to me. And if you want to come and celebrate Passover, right? So what I want to talk to y'all about today, you see the title is called Endurance, right? We're in a time where we as Israelites, we have to endure because things are going to get hard. When you read in the book of Acts, the Bible says, through much tribulation, we should enter the kingdom of heaven. That's a hint to let you know that we ain't going to slide. We ain't going to be sliding and skating into the kingdom. That's not going to happen. There got to be some tribulation. Christ went through tribulation. The apostles went through tribulation. All the prophets went through tribulation. How are we going to get the kingdom and sit with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the prophets in the kingdom, and we just going to skate in and ain't going to go through nothing like they went through? We got to go through something. You got to go through something. You have to be tried. I have to be tried and found to be approved. So we're in a time now of endurance. And you're going to see things in this truth. You're going to hear things in this truth that's going to offend your spirit. You're going to see things and hear things that's going to offend your spirit. People are going to offend you. Brothers and sisters are going to offend you. Teachers and elders are going to offend you. Are you going to fall out the truth because somebody offended you? Are you? You know how many people I'm seeing on Facebook that are so-called former Israelites, and because they might have been in a relationship with a man and the relationship went bad, now I see the woman, now she's a straight up witch. She's a straight up witch. Talking about she's doing witchcraft. Huh? Because you had a problem with your husband, now this is not the truth. That means you was never in the truth. That's why I always tell people, I'm not always a big believer when people say I used to be an Israelite. No, you was an Israelite because your friend was an Israelite. Your homie was an Israelite. He fell out, you fell out. You was an Israelite because you liked that man. You thought he was handsome. You thought he was cute. Right? So you was with him. And while everything was good, you was an Israelite wearing a dress covering your head. And the minute that you and him had a falling out, now you over there talking about that you a witch. You're into African spirituality or some other nonsense that you into. Because you was never in the truth, man. That's why the scriptures tell us in the book of 1 John, the 2nd chapter, I believe, it says they went out from us, that it may be made manifest that they was never of us. A lot of people that fall out was never of us to begin with. I'm a strong believer in that. You cannot be immersed in this truth for real and fall out talking about you over there wearing an ankh now. You can't. You was never in the truth. That's my stance. You was never in the truth. So you know that if you are in this truth, you are going to go through some stuff. You're going to have some falling out with your family. You're going to fall out with your spouse. You might have a fallout with your children. You might have a fallout with your co-workers, right? You might have a fallout with other Israelites. You might be in a camp and have a fallout with the camp and leave the camp. Does that mean you're supposed to leave the truth? No. 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 You got to go through some stuff. Right? I always tell y'all the brothers that brought me into the truth are not in the truth no more. Because they was never in the truth to begin with. And I understand it's spiritual. I understand that. What it was the Most High gave them a dispensation of the gospel. Right? He revealed his arm to them to a degree in order for them to convince me to come into the truth, because the Most High wanted to work with me at this point. And guess what? If I fall off, then I wasn't of the Lord either, and maybe the Most High used me to teach some of y'all to bring y'all into the truth. That's how it works, man. The Most High uses people. Hey, I got over 50 people in here, man. Can I get some more likes, please? That brings up the algorithm so people can see we're live. Can I get some more likes? So this is what I want to do, right? Now I'm not home. I'm not home, so I can't type it into the chat. So I'm gonna give you brothers and sisters an opportunity. I ain't gonna be before you long, but this is what I want to do. I want to give you brothers and sisters an opportunity to tell me what you want to see from us. When I say us, a lot of leaders across Israel watch this channel and they watch these videos, right? And we're always telling you what we want to see from you, the people. This is what you need to do. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to do that as leaders, right? But not a lot of people ask y'all what y'all want to see from us. So we getting ready to have a summit. And I'm already going to tell those brothers, we got to do better at the summits than we've been doing. We got to do better at these summits than we've been doing. Like, we're going there, but what are we accomplishing when we have these summits? What has the Maccabees Alliance accomplished? Really? We're coming into a new year. January is not the new year, we know that, but we're coming into a new year. So we cannot come into a new year and do the same things that we was doing last year, because then as leaders, we failed you as a people. We failed you as a people, right? So y'all need to see certain things from leaders, just like we need to see certain things from y'all, right? It's a balance. So what I'm gonna do is, I got a list of stuff here I wrote. I want to see from y'all as a people. I cannot write it in the chat, but I'm gonna give you a phone number. I'm gonna allow some of y'all, if anybody wants to call in, I'm gonna allow you to call in. And I want you to tell me what you want to see from us as leaders. But let me warn you, like I warned you last time. If I give you the number and you call and you act like a nigga, I'm banging on you. I'm just letting you know. If you're not from New York, you don't know what banging is, I'm hanging up on you. I'm not tolerating no BS. All right? But I'm going to allow you to call in and tell me what you want to see from us. But don't call in here with no BS, man. Call in here and be serious. All right? The phone number is, I can't type it, so I'm just going to tell it to y'all. Y'all want to write it down or whatever if you want to call in. The phone number is 908-444-6020. Whatever, as a nation, what you want to see from leaders, whatever y'all want to see, you call in and make yourself be heard. I'm going to allow you to call in and talk. The phone number is 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. One more time. I can't type it, so I'm telling you. 908-444-6020. Anthony Scout, yes, we have it. My Lions of Israel has a camp in Pittsburgh. Yes. Email me, Maccabeestv@gmail.com. Email me, Maccabeestv@gmail.com. State your name and you were the brother that asked me about the camp in Pittsburgh. I'll call you. All right? Or matter of fact, or I'll have the elder in Pittsburgh call you. All right? All right. Since I can't type it, I know some of y'all are typing it into the chat, right? I'm going to look at that in a second. I guess I'll take it from the chat because it's easier because I can't type the phone number in. I'm going to give it to y'all one more time. It's 908-444-6020. All right. Carlos Clark says, the water, Marsha, for that. Carlos Clark says, more scriptural breakdowns. Yeah. We do classes. As a matter of fact, AOC is going live today with a Q&A. They have a Q&A section. Question and answer today. Hold on a second. Somebody's calling and let's see what we got.
You're about to Danyaahla.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Maccabeestv, I think I heard my brother Yabatazar in the building. Peace, King. What's going on, Lord?
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. You have Shabbat
What's going on, Lord?
How you been doing, priest?
Hey, man. I'm thankful, brother. I'm in New York. It's over 60 degrees today in the Big Apple, man. In January, that's crazy. I feel good, man. I feel good. All praise.
Man. Man, I'm not gonna say nothing bad, man, but I'm righteously jealous, man. We over here got that sleet and storm and that black ice coming. I'm sitting out in my truck just watching the weather go crazy. But it's been cool though, we've had a mild winter, especially in the windy city, the blizzard city, so it ain't no big major,
Yeah, King, man. All praise to the Most High, man. Yeah, we're blessed, man. I'm talking to the people. I got my brother Yabatazar. You know what I'm saying? He's out there in AOC in Chicago, family. So if you're in the Chicago area, you want to get down with AOC, this is the brother that you reach out to. His brother, brother Yabatazar, Officer Yabatazar out in AOC or Chicago. Yeah, brother. So I'm just talking to the people, trying to find out from them what they want to see from us going forward, right? Because, sometimes we tell the people what they need to do, but we as leaders, we have to do better as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right, kind. All praises.
Yes, sir, man. Listen, man, inbox me your phone number. I'm going to hit you up, King, all right?
All right, no doubt, King.
All right,
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for calling in, Lord. Right, so Carlos had said that he wanted to see more classroom videos on YouTube, right? Yes. Now, number one, AOC is going live at 12 noon on their channel with Q&A, right? If you're not subscribed to the channel, it's Alpha and Omega Clan. You can look that up on YouTube. Alpha Omega Clan, they're going live at 12 noon, right? I'm going to start doing more Sabbath and live classes and stuff like that. Like, I wasn't really doing them on YouTube like that. We just do these things amongst ourselves, but I wasn't really coming to them with YouTube. I'm gonna start coming back to the classes with YouTube. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My focus more, and again, I mean no offense to nobody, right? But my focus more has been outside of YouTube, outside of Facebook, outside of that. Number one, because I feel like as Israelites, sometimes we're preaching to the choir. It's like when we're teaching, we're talking to ourselves, to each other. And that's it. And sometimes I feel like on social media, YouTube, Facebook, it's almost like a competition. It's like every camp is trying to outdo everybody else. That's what I see. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. I don't know. But that's what I see. It's like everybody's trying to outdo everybody else, outshine everybody else, be better than everybody else. That's what I see. And so I don't want to be part of the rat race. I don't want to be part of the rat race. I don't. So one of the reasons why y'all don't see me doing so much of a focus of classes and breakdowns and everything on YouTube is not because I don't do them, but it's more or less like it's such a rat race on Facebook and YouTube with everybody just trying to outdo everybody else that I've been telling brothers in my camp and it's close to me, like, I'm focusing outside of you. I want to do the work that y'all not seeing. I want to talk to the people that y'all not seeing. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to reach the people that have never heard this Israelite thing before, that haven't been corrupted by some of the stuff they see on social media. Because some of the new fruit that's coming into the truth, when they get on Facebook and YouTube and see the nonsense that camps are doing back and forth with each other, this is turning a lot of people off from the truth. Some of them are being used and abused by leaders and, just all types of stuff that's going on. All right? Some Israelite brothers is out here sleeping with every damn woman you can get your hand on and not wife and none of them. Like, all types of nonsense is going on, man. All types of nonsense. You're making whores out of the daughters of Zion. They're wondering why these women are turning, saying that Israelite men ain't right. All this is going on. And so I get sick of it. And so I don't really come on social media other than Maccabeestv and some other channels. Y'all don't really see me like that. Like I was saying earlier in the broadcast, I'm not social really like that. That's why y'all don't see me. I'd rather do stuff. Listen, y'all that would know Danyaahla for a long time prior to this whole YouTube thing, y'all know when Beloya was alive, I wasn't even making videos like that. I was working the camera. Not because, listen, behind the scenes, myself and the other elder in the camp, Zaha, we were the engine that ran the camp. That's why the camp was able to go on after Beloya passed. We were the engine that ran the camp, but Beloya was the face. He liked the camera. He liked to do videos. I never liked doing videos. I'm doing this stuff because I'm forced. Like people told me, you got the information, how you going to sit on it? How you not going to teach the people? That's why I do it. But sometimes I get turned off and I go back, I revert back to myself and I'm like, man, I'd rather teach the people behind the scenes, go in the streets, the highways and the byways and raise Israel up that haven't been corrupted by social media. That's how I've been feeling. Right? That's why a lot of y'all ask me, and I think I'm okay to say it, he won't be mad at me. That's why y'all hardly see Hashar. That's why y'all hardly see him. For the same reasons. It's so disgusting on social media that the brother just does the work. He goes out and he teaches, and y'all don't see it on social media. He go out to camp, he do what he's supposed to do. But brothers just get turned off with some of this nonsense that's going on. But I try not to withdraw myself. Many times I've told brothers and sisters that's around me, I'm going to take a fast from social media. I'm not going to be on Facebook for like 2-3 months. I'm not going to make videos on Maccabeestv. But somebody always talks me out of it like, you can't do to people like that. You can't. You got to continue teaching. So I know I just said a whole lot to circle back around. I'm going to try going forward as we approach the real new year. I'm going to go back to doing my classes and stuff. That's part of the reason why y'all haven't gotten none of the PowerPoints I promised y'all. Just sometimes I get so turned off, man. I'm just like, man, these Negroes on Facebook and social media, man, just get me sick sometimes. I'm keeping it a buck with you. The things that I see and hear on social media, man, it's crazy. But that was one of the things that you said that you want to see. And you will be seeing more YouTube videos of classes and lessons and stuff like that from me this year. As I said, it's not that I'm not doing them. My focus has not been on social media. And number two, I don't put everybody that's affiliated or associated with me on social media because as we see the Esau is watching, right? Everything that we do, everything that we say, every move that we make, they're watching. So I don't put all my business on social media. That has nothing to do with teaching, but just in general. The people that I'm teaching outside, they'll never make it to social media. The people that I'm going to be affiliated with our camp won't make it to social media. They won't. But that's one of the things, I'm sorry, I haven't been watching the chat. That's one of the things that y'all say y'all want to see more of. We'll do more of that this year, right? The phone number is 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. Yahya, Yisrael, you said my work is definitely needed. And I appreciate that, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's you brothers and sisters that come on, you know, the channel, and y'all encourage me, and some of y'all inbox me, and some of y'all email me, and you know, you brothers and sisters encourage me from not just walking away from social media altogether, because I don't need it. Have y'all noticed? Have y'all noticed? I'm going to say I'm probably the only camp leader that has the time that I've been on in this truth that actually interacts with y'all on social media. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed that? The only other person I could think of the top of my head that actually is on social media, interacts with y'all somewhat, maybe is Zabah. That's it. Most other Israelite camp leaders that have been around 20, 30 years don't come on and interact with y'all. But I do. And every time I want to walk away, people are like, no, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. But it gets hard sometimes to see some of the things that I see on social media. It really does. I like I said before, man, the brother is like me. Hashar is like me. He don't like social media. He don't like it. He don't like what he sees on YouTube and social media and what Israelites are doing. So he don't have the incentive to come on it. He does what he's supposed to do in teaching. Y'all just don't see it. First of all, we come up in an era where there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, right? Well, there was nothing in the 90s but public access TV. So either you were in the streets teaching or you wasn't, right? Somebody just called. I'm sorry. Call back. I didn't see that call. Call back. 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. Call back. My apologies. All right. So while I'm waiting for somebody to call in, let me run down my brother Claude White. Peace to you. A.T. Ryu. Peace to you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, man. Now, I'm never going to give up, man. I'm never going to give up on my people. Sometimes I just want to change the approach that, what's up, Mika? I want to change the approach just because I feel like sometimes there's too much madness going on and I want to save.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Peace and shalom. This is Brother Priest Danyaahla. Who's on the phone? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Obadiah, and I'm calling from Detroit.
My man, 50 grand. Brother Obadiah, what's good, Lord?
I got one question about the Sabbath. I know the street teacher said we can't spend money on the Sabbath, but I cannot find that in the Bible.
The scripture said you can't spend money on the Sabbath?
The street teacher said it, but I can't find it in the Bible.
Now, I wouldn't say...
I try to prove it to somebody. Yeah, I'm listening.
Well, let me ask you a question. What would you be, just give me a hypothetical, what would you be spending money on the Sabbath?
Oh, no. I don't want to spend money. I want to prove it to somebody to shut them up.
No, I know. I'm not saying you particularly, but the man said, the brother that's saying you can't spend money on the Sabbath, what would he be spending money on? Because it really depends. And I'll tell you why I say that.
I don't even know. It was
okay, well, let me tell you like this. In this day and time, brother, I'm going to say it to you like this. In this day, you're right. That's not in the scriptures. In this day and time,
right,
as a man of the Lord, I'm going to say that you're a man of the Lord, right? Now, I don't know you. I'm just going to give you a hypothetical. Let's say, right, that you want to go out and you want to teach your people, right? You have to drive from point A to point B probably to get to where you want to go to teach your people. So now, I'll use myself as an example, right? I don't live in New York no more, but I come to New York to teach the word, right? When I come into New York, in order for me to come and do the Lord's work in New York, I got to pass through a toll. From New Jersey to New York, there's a toll. I got to spend money on that toll. So now, should I not come into New York on the Sabbath because I got to pay the toll? That doesn't make no sense.
No, pay the toll.
Should I not? go and put some gas in my car if I run out of gas because
Set it up.
yeah, of course I'm doing the work. The Bible says when you read the scriptures, Christ said the priests profane the Sabbath every Sabbath. They always did. You know what I'm saying? If you're a priest, that there's certain things that you can do on a Sabbath because you're doing it for the work's sake. I'm just being very general, so that's some BS, bro, man.
Okay.
That's some BS. You're 100% right. That's not the script. As a priest, that's not in the scriptures. There's going to be some situations where you may have to do something in order to do the work. And so you just have to do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying?
But so if somebody want to cash out on the Sabbath, what I say?
What do you mean by cash out, though? I'm sorry, I don't know that slang.
I mean, they might just want to go to Sam's Club and spend money, just on regular stuff we spend money on the regular days. How do I make that argument? This is what I would tell a brother. You're 100% right that this is what I would tell a brother, right? When you go and you read in the book of, I believe it's Nehemiah, right? You had Israelites that were basically buying from the other nations on the Sabbath. That's what they were doing, actually, right? And you know that story in the book of Nehemiah? Yeah, I read it. I ain't gonna say I read all 13 chapters, but I read several chapters.
Right. I'm gonna say this is what I'm gonna say to you. In the spirit of the Sabbath, right? I would not suggest that brothers wait until I don't even want to say unless it's an emergency. I wouldn't suggest that brothers and sisters go to Sam's Club on the Sabbath. Like, you should try to use the Sabbath as a set apart day to worship the Most High, do the Lord's work, and try to do those things during the week. But there are situations, right? There are situations where brothers and sisters, some of them have to work on the Sabbath. They can't help it. The job won't give them a day off. And some brothers and sisters, they work 6-7 days a week and they don't have any days off. So they may have to go shopping for their family on the Sabbath, right? I would just suggest that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, myself, I work 6 out of 7 days a week. I work 6 out of 7 days a week. So it's like that for some people. Now, I wouldn't suggest that brothers buy or sell on the Sabbath, to be honest. And the scriptures in Nehemiah is what I would use to tell a brother or a sister that they should not buy or sell on the Sabbath. That's what I would use. But I want to differentiate that from spending money. It's a difference between buying and selling and spending money. On the Sabbath, you may have to spend money, like I said, because I have to spend money to go through the toll to come to New York. So I'm going to have to spend some money. But the Most High understands that as a priest or as a teacher, I'm doing that because that's part of I'm coming to do the work. You understand what I'm saying? Just like the priest would, do sacrifices and everything on the Sabbath, right? That was work. But the Most High allowed that because they were doing it for a reason. You understand? So,
But you work for the church.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but you can't work for Esau on the Sabbath.
You know, I can't say that. I can't say that either, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the deal, right? This is what I want to say. It's a real tricky subject, and that's why I counsel people on an individual basis, right? Some of us, the Most High blesses us where we can have the Sabbath off, right? Some of us, the Most High blesses us where when you go for a job, you're able to tell them that you are a Sabbath observer, and they'll respect you and give you the Sabbath off. But some of us have jobs that will not give you the Sabbath off, right? And that is the only form of income you have right now. Before I would tell a brother, well, don't work, I would try to help that brother find another job first, or try to get that brother a job where I'm working to try to help him out before I tell him, yo, brother, quit your job. No, I would never do that. Because if I'm not going to help that brother and pay his bills, then I'm not in a position to tell a brother that he can't work on the Sabbath. He needs to do his best to try to find another job. That's the advice I would give a brother.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, but the Bible explicitly says don't work on the Sabbath.
The Bible specifically tells us not to work on the Sabbath.
Right.
Why did the Most High set apart the Sabbath so that we don't have to work? Because other than that, in our captivity, our oppressors would work you 7 days a week. That's what they would do. They'd work you 7 days a week. Even Israelites, if you have an Israelite boss, they would work you 7 days a week if they could. So the Most High had to set apart the Sabbath and allow us to have the Sabbath off. That's what the Most High had to do. You understand what I'm saying? So the Bible tells us that we should not work on the Sabbath, but you have to deal with brothers and sisters on an individual basis, King, because if you don't, you can wind up jamming somebody up. I've seen it in Israel where leaders have told people, you know what I'm saying, quit your job, but they didn't help the brother get another job. It didn't help them get another job. Before I would tell a brother to quit their job because they have to work on the Sabbath, I would first try to help the brother find another job so that he doesn't have to work on the Sabbath. That's what we should do, man.
Right. Okay.
All right, Lord?
Appreciate it.
No, I thought you were saying something. Go ahead.
No, I was listening to you. That was it. That was just all I was calling for about the Sabbath, because that was on my head for the past week or two. Because my friend called me and we was just going back and forth about should we work or not. He's like, prove it to me in the Bible. I'm like, hold up. And I said, oh, I can't find it about spending money on the Sabbath. And I just can't find it explicitly. Like some commandments, like the one commandment about the woman got to wear dresses, it says they have to wear modest apparel, but they don't say explicitly they have to wear dresses. I can't, and it'd be a tough sell sometimes when I just talk to some of these black folks out here.
Well, everything is not for everybody, and everybody's not going to understand everything, bro. Just, you tell somebody something, and in time they'll see it. If it's meant for them, in time they'll see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, Lord. Go ahead.
I want to take this out. We live on YouTube right now?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity because I've been trying to promote. I wrote a book about, everybody keeps talking about the law. That's the main thing God wants to do, is to keep the law. And I compiled the law out the Bible from everything what you guys been seeing, all the street teachers, not just one camp, but all the camps I found. And I put it in a book. It's called The Book of the Law to Earn Your White Robe in Revelation. And it's on Amazon right now. I've been posting it, but I think Esau or you guys been blocking it. I don't know.
Who?
I just want to go ahead and let that everybody know.
Wait, you said we've been blocking you? I don't know. This is my first time hearing about this. I didn't block you. I don't even know nothing about this. As a matter of fact.
Oh no. If it ain't you, then it's Esau.
Okay. So this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
This is what I want you to do. I want you to email me Maccabeestv at gmail.com with the information for your book. With whatever information, where I could go find it, where I could see it. Email me at Maccabeestv at gmail.com. I will take I'll take a look at it, and if it's something that I think is good for the people, I'll bring it on the channel and show it. Okay? So with that being said, brother, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you, but thank you.
All right, man. I appreciate it. All right, man. So
stay blessed. Be well.
All right, you as well, brother. Have a good one. Shalom.
All right.
All right. All praises to the Most High for that. Let me keep the phone a little closer so I can see if somebody calls in. I don't even remember where I was. Anyway, so okay, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm looking at the comments. I guess while I was talking to him, y'all got your own thing going on in the chat. So the Delandris Causey said something about the Book of Mormons, right? So let's talk about the Book of Mormon for a second. I don't promote the Book of Mormon, although I will tell you that there's some passages in there that run parallel with the Bible. The reason why I don't promote the Book of Mormon is because the Mormons, basically, to make a long story short, according to what the legend goes, they found tablets or records amongst the Native Americans, right? That they pretty much stole and formed a whole religion around that. And they do acknowledge the Native Americans as being Israelites, but they don't acknowledge us, so-called blacks, Haitians, West Indians. They don't acknowledge us as being Israelites. There are some things in the Book of Mormon that if you read it, sound right? But I still would not. The Bible says, when you read Isaiah, I believe it's 34:16 or 34:17, it says, seek out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, talking about the prophecies, and none shall warn her mate, meaning you can't mate the Bible with nothing else. So we cannot link the Bible with the Book of Mormon. nor can we link the Bible with the Quran. The Bible stands on its own above all other books. Above all other books. Is that not to say that there's certain things in the Quran that we can use and pull out? Sure. In the Quran, in the book of Surah, it speaks about Israel being above all nations. It says that. So you can use that, right? But it still is not equal to the Bible. So hopefully I answered your question. Nobody should be using the Bible and the Book of Mormon together, or, you know what I'm saying, in any way, shape, or form, joining those two books together. Even if there's things in the Book of Mormon that sound good, and there are. I have it. There are. If you see a Mormon on the street, they'll give you the Book of Mormon for free. If you ask them, they'll give it to you. And there are some stuff in there that you read, you be like, wow, that sounds like what I read in Revelation, right? But yet and still, it cannot be mated with the Bible whatsoever. All right, so hopefully that answered your question. Right. When you look at that story, there's a cartoon on YouTube, right? That with the whole Mormon thing, and pretty much it goes into what you just said, Warrior Lord. There's a cartoon on here about that, right? So if people want to check that out, MOY Gawap said that they left one with us. Yeah, if you cut the book, they'll give it to you. Absolutely. And if you think I'm not going to advise nobody to read no books outside the Bible. None. Right? But if you go through it, because, you know, people are curious. I was curious when I was young. I went through it. You will find things in there that will sound very similar to what you read in the Bible, just like you can in the Quran. But yet and still, that cannot be mated with the Bible. And I believe that the Book of Mormon is a watered-down version of the records they found amongst the Native American. Of course, they added their own nonsense up in there. Like the brother said, all this curse of Ham thing, you know, that they added in there is not in the Bible. There's no such thing in the Bible as the curse of Ham. That's not in the Bible, by the way. Just so we're clear. Warrior Lord, Josephus is a good tool to use, but I'll say the same thing I say about the Book of Mormon and about the Quran. Josephus is good, but Josephus has what you call interpolations in there. There are interpolations in the book of Josephus. If you brothers and sisters don't know what interpolations is, look that up. There are interpolations, meaning that later on, people that were after Josephus added stuff in there to the record that was not originally a part of what Josephus wrote. There are later Christian interpolations by Christians later on added into the Josephus. So you have to know these things when you're reading. That's why a lot of times in the old days, the elders would not advise, especially newer people that are not seasoned, to go into books outside the Bible, because you really got to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? There was an old saying, eat the meat and spit out the bones. The elders used to say that when I was coming up, and it's real talk. Because if you're not really rooted in this thing, you'll start reading stuff in other books and then start questioning this thing. You got to be rooted in this first. And when you're rooted in this first, everything that you read outside the Bible, if it doesn't match the Bible, you throw it away. That's how you're supposed to study, right? That's how you're supposed to study. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. And there's bones in everything outside the Bible. Okay, we have to be careful with that. Yeah, 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. There it is. All right, hold on a second.
Brother Masha.
Suki
To
now.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Maccabeestv. I thought I heard the voice of my brother Masha from Holy Saints and Apostles. Is that you, King?
Hey, Shalom, my Lord. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, King.
Happy Sabbath, brother.
Oh, blessed Sabbath, blessed Sabbath. All praise to the Most High for a beautiful. You see the beautiful day the Most High blessed us with, King, outside?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's warm out here today. New York, New Jersey, it's a beautiful day.
Yes.
It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
But I just wanted to make a comment. It kind of goes in line with the last caller, the brother who called in. He asked a very good question about the Lord. I think that was basically the Most High has put it on my spirit. I've been kind of working on something for a little while that I would really like to bring to the MAC as a member of the Maccabees Alliance Council, and just bring to within Israel in general. I believe we need to, as Israelites, because when you look at the movement and what's going on, and you've been in the truth, longer than I have, so you've seen a lot of changes. But Israel is growing tremendously, and everything is well, and we are coming together. You have yourself, Maccabees Alliance, Masharah, Yasha'Allah. We are all coming together. We all, affiliate with one another, associate with one another, love each other. We don't have any issues. I think the last piece is that we come together with one body, one law. Not so much the one body necessarily saying that we all have to be one camp, but I think we do need to start sitting down and having more discussions on these commandments and what is what and what are we going to establish in this day and age as the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's why I say it ties in with what the brother was saying about the Sabbath. Very good question. How do we keep the Sabbath? What is lawful? What's unlawful? And pretty much what I would like to help develop in Israel, and I've really been thinking about it a lot for 2020, is we need a modern day Sanhedrin. I mean, can we even count 71 elders, 71 righteous brothers in Israel today that can agree to sit down with one another and hash out the law? Now, when you look at the old Sanhedrin during Christ's time, for example, you had Pharisees and Sadducees a part of the Sanhedrin. You also had believers of Christ a part of the Sanhedrin. So it's not a matter of, we all have to be one camp, but our brothers, our forefathers, they still came together, and guess what? They were arguing back then. They were fighting back then. There were brothers that didn't like brothers or whatever, disagreements back then, but they still came together for the sake of moving as a nation. Another reason why this is important is because if we come together as the elders in Israel today, and we say, you know what? So many brothers of the MAC, so many brothers Masharah, and any other elders who are respected, and we all agree upon, we all vote to hold this office as a chief judge, as a part of this modern day Sanhedrin, we're all going to come together, we're all going to argue, we're all going to debate, we're all going to establish the laws. We're going to establish order in Israel. And, I just feel that if we can't do it amongst ourselves, how is Israel going to give the law to the Gentiles in that day? How are we going to establish? I mean, we understand that all things are going to happen through Christ, but I just feel that it's not like a Christianity spirit where we should just wait on Christ. I think we should start moving towards these things, and it's no better time than to do it now. I think we are able to do it.
No, that was a beautiful point that you brought out. I want to say something to somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat says we should come together with the Most High as our head, but that and the laws are our God, or whatever you said. That's a given. That's a given. I think that falls in line with what Marshall was just saying. But we have to listen. This is what people don't understand, right? When you read the book of Daniel chapter 2, I believe it's verse 44, the scriptures say, in the days of those kings shall the Most High establish and set up another kingdom. Not after the kingdoms are completely destroyed. The Most High said, in the days of those kings. What is that talking about? We are in the last of the the last of the four beasts. We're also at the very end of the vision that Daniel saw. And so in the days when these kings are ruling, the Most High would begin to establish Israel, reestablish Israel on the earth. That's what you're seeing. We don't have to wait till Yahweh Shah comes back to establish certain things. That's why the Most High gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, just like what he was saying. We're not circumventing the Most High or Christ by trying to establish a righteous order based on the scriptures. And I think that was the intent with the Masharah. That was the intent with the Maccabees Alliance. But now we have to really move forward with it, is what the brother is saying. There's certain things, brothers and sisters. Some of you brothers and sisters, the reason why some of you can't see it, and I'm not trying to be funny because some of y'all are not leaders, so you don't have a vision. The Bible says where there's no vision, the people fail. That's in the book of Proverbs. Now that vision is really talking about prophecy, but it's also talking about leadership, right? If I'll give you brothers and sisters a perfect example, right? And I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to offend nobody, right? I have watched in Israel, over my time in Israel, let's say I have a wife, right? Let's say I have a wife. Me and my wife, we fall out for whatever reason, and I put my wife away. According to the scriptures, I put her away for a certain amount of time. But my wife is rebellious. Right. When I put her away, she says, you know what? F Dan, I'm leaving the lines of Israel, and I'm going to join AOC. And she goes and joins AOC. Then for whatever reason, it doesn't work out for her over there. For whatever she goes over there and causes chaos, it doesn't work out for her. She leaves AOC. Now she goes and she joins UKOIC. Causes chaos over there. Leaves and joins Holy Saints and Apostles. Brothers, do you know how many sisters, I'm not trying to be funny, do you know how many sisters have done that in Israel over the years? Bounced from one congregation to another congregation, to another congregation, to another congregation, and along the way sleeping with somebody in every congregation. You know why? Because the camps don't communicate. Because the leadership doesn't communicate. If somebody leaves my camp and goes to join Mashah's camp, who's on the phone, Mashah should be calling me saying, hey, that brother was in your camp. And he's not in your camp. He wants to join my camp. Why is he not in your camp? And then I could tell him, and now we have a line of communication open. I could say this brother violated this law, this commandment, he did this, he committed adultery, whatever. This is why he's not with us. You see what I'm saying? There's a line of communication open. So now Mashah has a better understanding before letting the man in the camp. This is what the brother's trying to establish. This is what Mashah is talking about. And if that brother violated certain things, then he can't join no camp. Because all the camps are going to come together as a Sanhedrin, as he says. It says, listen, brother, you are an adulterer. They put you out because you are an adulterer. You can't join no camp. Go get your spirit right and then come back.
Right.
That's it. Right. That's what he's talking about.
And one of the things, and I'm pretty much, I've volunteered my service to this initiative as a secretary. I don't even have to be one of the judges. I don't even have to sit in one of the seats of the judges. I just am inspired to be the secretary of the court, because how is that going to work? Well, the scripture says, write the vision and make it plain. When you have judgment, when you have other elders who judge over a situation, over a matter, it's not just to be, we discussed this, we did that, or whatever. No, you know what? We need to start keeping records. We need to start writing so-and-so's name with this husband and that wife and so forth. They did this, they committed this sin on that day. And it's a written record of the Sanhedrin. So, I've been hesitant in bringing this out, and it's just, right now I'm just kind of flowing and trying to go with the spirit, and just, that's why I called in and wanted to bring it up with you. But this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and, we have many brothers, many elders, we all communicate, we all speak, and we all don't agree on certain things, but guess what? It's time we come together, we start establishing something, even if it just covers the basic laws, adultery, fornication, the Sabbath, and so forth and so on. We can easily do that, and then we can tackle the harder stuff, new moon and, lunar Sabbath. We can tackle all those things later.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad you called in with that, because that's the direction that the Most High put on my spirit as well. And this is last week I told you, when we had the conference call, I said to you that this is what we're going to do going forward. Like, we're not just going to have calls just to be on a call with each other. We're not just going to summits just to go to summits. We're not doing that this year. If it be the Lord's will, we're going to be progressive. We're going to be progressive as leaders this year to the best of our ability to move this nation forward, right? We got to start thinking like a nation. What you're talking about is thinking like a nation. You're thinking like a leader. You have people that are coming in to this truth, and we need to have certain things established so that they understand what we tolerate and what we don't tolerate as Israelites. And I just gave the example of sisters in Israel that are running amok, jumping from camp to camp to camp, sleeping with every man in every camp. You see what I'm saying? And this camp will accept her in because they don't like that camp. So since she was a part of that camp, huh? Brothers too. Brothers too. You know what?
There's around, disrespecting one leadership and then going to the next brother and thinking that, I got away from that brother.
Let's use the example of that cat Joshua Miguel, right? We're going to use the example of him. Some of y'all don't know who I'm talking about, but if you was on Facebook back in the day, a couple of years ago, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Joshua Miguel is a perfect example of what Marsha is talking about. Here is a man, right, that came into the truth, right? He joined, I could be wrong, but I believe he joined one of the GMS camps. He came in the truth, right? And he didn't have a place to stay. And a brother took the man in his house, which I don't think you should do that if it's just you and your wife living there. He took the man in his house, right? Went to work. The man went to work, and this brother slept with the man's wife while he was at work, right? Got kicked out of that camp, went down to Florida, and another camp took him in like a stray dog. Didn't go to find out, well, why did he get kicked out of that camp? The man committed adultery. This next camp took him in like nothing happened. Guess what happened when the next camp took him in? He did it again.
Yep.
He did it again. Then he got kicked out of that camp, went somewhere else, got with another sister someplace else, and molested her children. Because the camps don't communicate. Because I'm over here in Lines of Israel, and my camp is better than your camp. So since he was in your camp before, y'all ain't shit. So he can come over here. Now he good because he with me. Then he come over here and cause chaos. Because Israelite leaders are not willing to work together, man. It's too many people that wants to be, like they always say, it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Let me keep it real with y'all. I keep telling y'all. Before Bun Lawyer died, y'all didn't really see my face. I don't have to be up front. I don't want to be up front. Y'all don't hardly see Hashar. We don't want to be up front. It don't have to be me. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you now, I don't want it to be me. I don't want the responsibility, honestly. I just want to teach. But it needs to happen. It needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Let me tell you how it works. You have, it's more than enough work out here for all Israel to get their position, you know what I mean? But we're going to also have to weed out those that just want a position and those that really want to do work. Because some people just want a position, they go up, they set themselves up by themselves, and they just take the vainglory of having a position. But the way it works is, in ancient Israel, we always had the Grand Sanhedrin. We had the Great Sanhedrin, right? That was in Jerusalem. That's where the high priest sat, and also the Nasi, or the prince of princes, within the court. So there's always two high-ranking positions in the court, and then there's 69 other brothers who are on that court. That's the Great Sanhedrin. So we can elect and have a discussion and count 71 elders in Israel and set that up. But that's just the Great Sanhedrin. Then in every area, like we're in New York, we have brothers in Chicago, we have brothers in Ohio, we have brothers down south and wherever, the West Coast. We can then divide each area up maybe by territories, and then there are smaller courts that dictate over the individual territories that are made up of 25 members. And it's always going to be, it's never an even number, so that if there's a vote, there's always one side or the other between all the chiefs on the court. And, I've just been studying the Sanhedrin a lot, and I think that's something that we can establish. You have your 71 elders, and you have 2 secretaries, and you have scribes. It's a simple system. Well, that also the world is basically the world copied from it with the Supreme Court and everything else. They copied off of our system. And the Sanhedrin, the other reason why it came up recently is because in if we had a Sanhedrin, we'd also be able to have 71 elders respond to the media.
Right.
Respond to the media and say, we disagree. We are the 71 elders of Yasharallah, and we disagree. Whether you recognize us or not, we're going to put out a statement as all Israel and tell you this is false.
100%.
So
100%, brother.
it's
Well,
important.
you know, I'm gonna tell you like I always tell other brothers when they tell me about something that the Most High laid on their heart. The Most High laid it on your heart because it's probably for you to try to move forward with that, and we need to support you, you know, in that effort. However, we can support you. So you got to just lay it out for us. You know, we're gonna talk. You lay it out for us, and we'll bring it forward to, you know, those that it needs to be brought forward to see if we can get this thing going. But we definitely have to move forward in Israel in this new year that's coming up. Like, we can't find ourselves doing the same things that we've been doing, or else we as leaders have failed the people. It's as simple as that. We fail the people if we don't. So we have to do better. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have to do better and judge matters better and set everything up better than what we've done in the past, right? So, you know, that's excellent that you came up with that, brother. And let's continue to build on that idea, King. Absolutely. 100%.
Con.
100%.
Yeah, I have things written down, so I definitely, Lord's will present it to the MAC Council soon, and then we can just take it from there.
Yes, sir, man. Well, I got some people that look like they want to call in, King. So we're gonna talk. You know, you can always call me on my personal phone. Most High bless you in your camp today, man. Y'all brothers bring forth much fruit when y'all go out and teach, man. And much love to you, Holy Saints and Apostles out in New Jersey. That's Masha. He's the leader of Holy Saints and Apostles. All praises. Somebody get George Harris out of here. One of my moderators, get George Harris up on out of here. All right, Masha, we're gonna wrap, bro.
All right, Shalom, King.
All right, shalom. The calling number is, now I said I wasn't gonna be before y'all long, but obviously if I'm letting y'all call in, then I'm gonna be before you long. One of these days, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna stick with it. The calling number 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. I'm just killing some time. My camp is actually coming to meet me in a little while. Then we're gonna go do the work, of course. Don't just delete his comments. Like, block him too, moderators, if y'all could. Block that dude. Again, the phone number is 908-444-6020. That was a beautiful call by Masha. Thank you for that. That's exactly in the spirit, in line with what we're talking about. Yahya Israel, I appreciate you. Yeah. Okay. Oh man, Zebulon, I gotta call you, brother. Please forgive me. I know you've been working on that. That's right. So now we gotta talk even more. I see you. Yep, we gotta talk even more. 100%. I know that you've been talking about that. You've been like one of the brothers on the forefront of that. You're right. 100%. 100%. Yeah. So, sugar. Somebody called and I missed the call. Sorry, call back. I keep putting the damn phone down, not paying. I'm not used to taking calls on here. I'm gonna get it together after a while. Show be a little more professional after a while. Yeah, get them likes up. Get them likes up, family. Get them likes up. I'm here talking, going hoarse before I even go to camp. So at least y'all could do is get the likes up, man. Bring more people in. Thank everybody for joining me this morning. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Roger. Calling.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Maccabeestv. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Shalom, this is Roger Parham. I was watching you online. I really appreciate everything. I've been learning a lot from you and HOI. I was thinking to myself about some of the communication with the other camps. I had some thoughts on my mind. Hold on, there's an echo going on from my computer because I'm watching you from my computer.
Yeah, so you might want to turn that down, and then you good.
I turned it down.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually living with a brother named Ray, you know, and I'm making moves out Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
Traveling, bouncing around, you know, trying to get me a gig and everything, you know. So, you know, on the Sabbath, I got to pull out some word. I got to hear my brothers, you know. I'm getting active in the chats, you know. It just, for me, it brings me alive, you know what I mean?
Right.
I got to work a little later on today, but I was just going to let you know, it's not just entertainment, you know. When you in the world and you around a whole bunch of people who don't wear fringes, they do what they want to do, you know what I mean? You try to tell them the truth and they reject it. When you got brothers like yourself, HOI, and all the other brothers in camps out there, it's like a breath of fresh air, you know? So I just wanted to let you know I really appreciate what you do, you know? So, yeah.
Well, first of all, brother, I'm greatly appreciative that anything that I do on this channel can help anybody. That makes me feel good, and that's why I do what I do. So I appreciate that. It's always good to hear that. That keeps me going, and I thank you for all the support. And yeah, brother, we make each other strong. When I talk to brothers like you, that makes me strong. We feed off of each other. So believe me, you do as much for me as you say I do for you. Trust me.
Yeah. Yep. I appreciate everything, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the support, King, and call me anytime. All right.
Okay, yeah, I just had to speak to you, man. I said I was gonna call you up, but I never did, so I was like, I may as well take, you know, a chance now. Yep, that's all I had to say to you.
All praises, brother. Have a blessed Sabbath, all right?
All right, man, you too.
Yes, sir.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, somebody was calling in, and I was on the phone with the brother, so you want to call back in? Somebody was calling in from a 347 number. The number to call in is 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. The lights are looking much better. Thank y'all. Y'all can still do better, but they're looking better. Yeah. So
From.
Danyaahla.
To accept, press 1.
Maccabeestv. What's your name? Where you calling from? Shabbat Shalom. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Danyaahla from St. Louis.
Hey, St. Louis in the building. Shalom, King was good. Talk to me.
Okay. Yeah, so right now I'm going through like a 30-day detox. There's a couple other brothers and sisters that's going through it with me as well. And like one of the things that has been like kind of a huge focus in Israel is sea moss. And so I had brought it up about like maybe 2 months ago, I believe, in like your chat or so. But I was just kind of wanting to discuss it with you and see what your thoughts was, especially about the block that was just calling in, talking about the Sanhedrin, and talking about, you know, everybody coming together and, you know, making sure that the law is really truly established in certain aspects.
Good.
So in Leviticus 11:9, we read that it says, "These shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and the seas and the rivers, them shall you eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of anything that which is in the waters, they should be an abomination unto you." So I know a lot of the times we look at sea moss as like super beneficial for, you know, I know people say like, you know, got 98 some properties. But the thing I kind of ruminated about was the fact that even though that may be true, when you read that scripture, it's telling you if it don't have fins and scales and anything that's living in the water, then it would be an abomination if it doesn't have these things. So the thing I kind of think about, like, you know, algae is one of the things that I don't hear, you know, we all agree, most Israelites agree that basically that algae is encouraging, and that encouraging is something that we can't ingest or whatnot. So I know I kind of read labels to make sure I don't eat anything encouraging, ice cream, yogurt, stuff like that. And so the reason why I make mention of it is I know that because of, you know, Dr. Sebi, just holistic people that's, you know, even in a conscious community or not within Israel, that is Israel, but just don't know it, they, you know, implementing try and get things that are beneficial for our health. But some things, you know what I'm saying, we got to kind of examine and look at and say, yo, like, are we doing this on the behalf of the Most High, or are we doing this for just the benefit of our health? You know what I mean? And so that's the reason why I kind of thought I would bring it to you to see what your thoughts was, because I know a lot of us still, you know, it's just sea moss.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me
create something.
Let me jump in for a second, right? This is one of those. This is one of those things where we have to sit down and we have to have a conversation about this going forward, right? It's not going to be resolved in one day. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that. This is my response, and like I said, you know, this is where I'm coming from on that. Now, number one, I'm gonna start with the land animals, right? The Most High gave us animals on the earth that we could eat and animals that we couldn't eat, right? In Leviticus the 11th chapter. One of the things that you'll notice about the animals that we cannot eat is that the animals that we cannot eat, a lot of them eat other animals. They're like flesh eaters themselves, right? The animals that we are allowed to eat, they're herbivores, right? There's other things as well, but I'm focusing on that for a reason. They eat plants. Okay. Now, when you go to Leviticus 11, when it speaks about fins and scales, the understanding that I have is that it's specifically talking about flesh, right? So we know that if in order to be able to eat a fish, it has to have fins and scales. If it doesn't have both, you can't eat it. We know that. Now, this is what I want to say about fish, right? There's another thing that you'll when you do some deep research on the fish that the Most High made clean for us and the ones that the Most High did not make clean for us. The farther down in the water that the fish swims is the more likely we can't eat it. The farther down that the fish is the more likely that it eats other fish. The fish that swim closer to the top of the water, closer to the surface, are the ones that the Most High gave us to eat when you do deep research. And these fish that the Most High allowed us to eat, that have fins and scales, a lot of their diet consists of algae, plankton, etc., etc. That's their diet. They do not eat other fish. The fish that we're allowed to eat do not eat other fish. They eat the very thing that people are telling us is unclean. So when we talk about sea moss would fall, according to when you do research, I guess it falls into the algae family. That's what they say.
Right.
When you look at the fish that we are allowed to eat, their diet consists of that. Algae, plankton, etc., etc. So now I look at that and I make the correlation with the animals that we can eat. They're also herbivores as well and don't eat other animals. So my question to people that say that sea moss is unclean because it's an algae, why would the Most High allow us to eat flesh of fish that eat the very thing that you're saying is unclean? Because we don't eat pig. Because you ever saw that video with the pig eating the damn dog? It was a dead dog, and the pig was sitting there eating the damn dog. You wouldn't eat the pig because you look at what the pig is eating. Like, I ain't eating that.
Right.
You wouldn't want to eat any animal that eats something that's unclean. That defeats the purpose, because you're still ingesting what that animal has in it. What it ate, you eating that. So even if you don't eat the algae directly, if you're eating the fish that eats the algae, you still ate the algae. You understand what I'm saying to you? Does that make sense? So what I'm saying to you is, I've been hearing this whole thing about sea moss not being clean because of the way it reproduces, right? The way it reproduces. But my thing is that on another level, when you really, like I said, this is something we have to have a long conversation about with, in Israel, and we can have it. I have no problem with having it. But I don't believe sea moss is unclean at all. I don't believe it's unclean at all in my research. And I believe, and I'm going to give you back the floor and let you have the last word. I believe that when we're looking at Leviticus, the 11th chapter, it's specifically talking about the flesh in the sea that we're not supposed to eat. That. Because, you know what I'm saying? People eat seaweeds, right? I don't eat it, but people eat it. It grows in the ocean. People eat seaweeds. We also use seaweed, salt, and this and that. We take a lot of stuff from the ocean and ingest that stuff besides just fish. We take a lot of stuff out the waters and ingest it. So we have to look a little bit deeper into that rather than just coming to a conclusion that sea moss is not clean because it doesn't have fins or scales. It's not even a fish. And the specific focus of Leviticus 11 is concerning flesh, as far as I know. All right, but I'm going to let you go ahead and have the last word, King. And this is something we can talk about again. I have no problem talking about it because, believe me, people have come in my inbox. They also come into my group in Healthy Hebrews, and they've been pushing this whole sea moss being unclean thing. And I hear it, and we've been having conversations, not hostile conversations, because this goes back to what the last caller, Masha, just said. These are things that we as Israelites have to sit down and have a conversation about. Is sea moss clean or unclean? Is it? I say it's clean. You might now, based on your research, may be at the point where you think it's unclean. So we sit down, we have a civilized conversation, and we look at it. But you can have the last word, brother. Go ahead.
No, you made a lot of cogent points. It's just that, like, it's just like, you know, when you start to, like, I have realized that even prior, before brothers, like, even started kind of bringing it out, and then it's only, like, key camps that I know of that, like, so far now, it could be others that have brought it out, and I was like, damn, like I'm finally hearing somebody else think the same thing I was kind of thinking, but I wasn't, like, really tripping off of it at the time, because I wasn't, like, I had started, like, taking sea moss, but not, like, frequently, like everybody else, you know what I mean? So it just kind of made it, like, dawned on me, and I was like, man, ain't this in the sea? But I hadn't really heard nobody in Israel bring it up until, like, later on, and then the channel that did bring it up for the first time that I heard it, their channel got taken down. And so, you know, the only brothers I do know, you know, is Sakari that brought it out. And so that's why I was kind of like, you know, maybe it isn't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it is, you know what I mean, unclean. So that's the part where I'm like, I'm still doing my research as well to kind of think about it and see, you know, where the Most High directs my spirit in that aspect. But I know amongst Israel, ain't nobody trying to, you know, willfully sin or do presumptuous sin. It's like, if you really are persuaded in your mind that, you know, yo, it's not unclean, you know what I mean?
Right now,
you gotta be truthful about it, you know what I'm saying? So
right now, there's a discussion going on about tuna. Now, I don't eat tuna, so I wasn't really involved in the conversation, but I noticed you got some camps saying tuna is clean, and some camps are saying tuna is unclean. This is new to me because I don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? I have, you know, as a child, you know what I'm saying, the stench of when they used to open up the tuna fish can and stuff like that, but like it kind of turned me off. So I never was into tuna.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't eat it.
Like
but,
me and sardines.
Yeah, you know. So I'm not into it, but I noticed that there's a conversation that's going on. So I say it's a good conversation. So sea moss the same way.
A good conversation.
You know, I don't think anybody, like you said it right. I don't think anybody's willfully sinning by having sea moss or not having sea moss. The question is it unclean? And if brothers say it's unclean, they have to substantiate that. And using something with fins and scales alone is not going to substantiate the sea because it's a plant or it's an algae. It's not dealing. That scripture, that precept is really dealing with fish. So, you know, it's kind of a stretch for brothers to say that extends to other things that are in the sea. It's kind of a stretch. But I don't condemn somebody if there's a camp that teaches that, right? I don't condemn them. If that's what you teach and that's what the Most High showed you, I say run with that, because we're not going to get in the kingdom or not get into the kingdom because we drinking sea moss. We already know Christ told us, you know what I'm saying, what commandments can get you in and what commandments can keep you out. And that's not one of them. So it's not a big deal. I will say this, and now brothers are talking about tuna in the comments. Now that we brought it up, I'm not even feeding into that. I don't eat it, so I don't care either way. It don't affect me. You know, but yeah, I think that we have to be a lot more. We have to have a lot more conversations in Israel because all of us have different levels of knowledge with certain things. So we got to share. We got to share with each other. That's what it do. But I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. You can have the last word.
Hey, before I let you go, the water fed accepted my call and everything. I was trying to get in touch with some brothers about because right now I'm going through the detox process, but I'm trying to get some herbs within Israel as opposed to buying to eat them. So I was trying to get in touch with like brothers that's locally here, like Yaki and stuff like that for me. But it's hard to get in touch with a lot of brothers, so I'm trying to see if you may know some people that offer like certain products that you know what I'm saying, get my digestive system running smoothly and stuff like that.
I can put you on, man. Do me a favor, right? Email me, Maccabeestv@gmail.com.
Okay.
Email me there. Because this is and I'm gonna call you back. Put your phone number in there too, because I got so many people calling. I'm not gonna remember which number is yours on this phone number right here.
You want me to throw it on the what's calling, or you want me to just send it to you?
You can email it to me, or if you and I are friends on Facebook, just inbox me it. That's all.
Okay.
And I'll hit you back. Just let me know what it is that we spoke about, so I remember. Hey man, I'm getting old. I'll be forgetting. I'll be mixing stuff up. So just remind me what it is we spoke about, and Yeah, I'll definitely hook you up with some people that do herbs and stuff like that, and get you nice and set up. All right.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right. Shabbat shalom. Mosai be with you, King.
Shabbat shalom.
Yes. Now y'all going in on the tuna thing, huh? Do I gotta join in that conversation? Now y'all gonna have me doing some research on tuna. I don't even eat it, but I guess I need to know what's going on with the conversation so I could so I can advise people that join my camp what it is. Yeah, a lot of brothers are bringing out their tuna. It's split. Like I'm seeing brothers saying both. I don't know. What I will say though is, if I'm not mistaken, isn't tuna? I don't know. Forget it. I don't know. I'll get back to you when I did some research. I ain't gonna wing it. Maccabeestv. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Shalom, King. This is Guap. I'm calling from Baltimore.
My brother, I see you in the chat. What's good, Lord?
Nothing much. I want to give a shout out to y'all brothers, doing the work and everything. But I was calling in regards to the CMOS discussion, right?
Okay.
A few months ago, I bought some CMOS. I didn't get a chance to use it, and I started saying, everybody was talking about we can't eat it, it's unclean. So at first I was like, brothers are tripping. But I started doing some research into it. And I'm like, okay, it comes from algae. Algae is a form of what is it called? A form of like a mold. You know what I mean? And you have some molds that you can use for different types of medical reasons and things like that. But we all know that mold grows on things sometimes that are dead. So it helps with the decaying process. You know what I mean? So when I realized all this, I also realized that it comes from a spore, just like mushrooms. It comes from a spore. It doesn't come from a seed. And so in Genesis, it says that we have, all the herbs and the fruit and things like that yield seed. So when I realized that it doesn't yield the seed, I was like, oh, shoot, maybe this is unclean. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to throw that aspect out there, for brothers to, get an understanding of the full matter, because the sea moss, it's not a flesh, of course, but it doesn't grow from a seed. So that was one of the things that we were having an issue with, because I love mushrooms, and I stopped eating mushrooms after I realized that about the sea moss, because it's all in the same family. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and I've heard that. And see, this now it's funny that we're having all these conversations today, because I'm sure you probably know this, and I know it and I see it. You have a lot of Israelites that eat mushrooms too. A lot, like a lot. You know what I'm saying? And they don't believe that it's it's unlawful. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. Going back to what the brother said earlier, that we as Israelites, we got to sit down and we have to have these discussions. So yeah, it's good. Absolutely. I've heard the whole argument against CMOS. I'm very familiar with it, and I've always had my comebacks, whatever like that. But I'm not here to do that today. I kind of want to hear from y'all. Like I'm not really here to, give my, one. I only said it because he asked me what was my thoughts, so I gave him my thoughts. But nevertheless, I want to hear from y'all. So yes, it's a discussion that we have to sit down and we have to have. Maybe the Maccabeestv is the place for us to do it. Maybe once a week I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna take a topic and I'll bring some brothers and sisters on and we have like a round table or something, and we can discuss CMOS, we can discuss tuna, we can discuss all that stuff. Why not?
Come. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Definitely. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is we're gonna keep these laws so we can get the kingdom. Right. So
real quick,
follow the Most High.
Salakia, Warrior Lord, yeah. I never liked mushrooms to begin with, me ever, and I always said that mushrooms are a fungus. Absolutely, I've always said that, but yet and still, I see a lot of Israelites that eat it. I do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can no matter what you try to tell them or show them, they're not trying to hear you. So it's one of those things. It's just one of those things.
It's just like people, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man.
Yeah, but
it's one of those things. But so let me pose the same question. This is just again for you something for you to chew on and tell me your perspective on it. So we don't necessarily eat the CMOS or the algae straight up, but we eat the fish that eat it. So why do we?
Hey, look,
Huh?
go ahead, so I can go ahead and finish up what you're saying.
No, that was my question. So even if we're not directly eating the algae, the fish that the Most High said was clean for us, they eat that. So
Right.
they don't eat each other. They eat that. That's what they eat. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they eat plankton. They eat all types of stuff. And then we're consuming that flesh that ate that. So I just would like to know, not necessarily from you, unless you have something that you want to add to it. I'd like to know how brothers reconcile that. You know, that's something I'd like to hear brothers speak on.
Well, that's another reason why I called in too, because I still got the sea moss sitting in my cabinet right now, right? And when you said that, I was like, oh snap, okay, bam, like it was like a mind blowing, you know what I mean? Because I'm like that is very true, you know, and considering the fact that we don't eat any flesh that consumes flesh, you know, that's a very good point. So it had me thinking like maybe I should, you know, go back and you know, rethink everything that I was thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's one of those things we got to get together on, man. Somebody in the chat just said that the vitamin D that we buy in stores comes from mushrooms. Now, I've never actually went out and brought vitamin D outright. So I got to look into that. Now, maybe it's by default in some things that I consume and I just don't know it, but I'll look into that, man. You know, these are the conversations that we should be having as Israelites, and not all this banging on each other that we're doing on social media. These are productive conversations, so this is good. I'm gonna let you have the last word, King. Go ahead.
And I got one more question for you, right? Because I'm from the camp in Baltimore, Martyrs of Yahweh. We're a fairly new camp, and we've been discussing this like camp etiquette, I guess, in a sense, because I'm sure, as you know, because I know you've been in the truth for a long time now, there's times where you're at camp and you got brothers, whether they're the heathen nations or whether it's brothers from our nation, they might come up against the camp and you know, they might try to give violence, things like that. So we were discussing like when is the right time to react, and when is the time where we should just sit back and just like, all right, man, you know, cool, you know, whatever he's saying, you know, it's whatever. But when is the time to react, to defend ourselves? Because we've had situations where edifying the people, we got a crowd, and then something happens, someone will come up and they start like a beef with us, you know, and us being, you know, being from where we from, and we're young brothers, you know, we try to hold our peace, but it's sometimes where it's just like, you know, it'll get the best of us and we'll react as well. So I want to know specifically, you know, I mean, it's kind of hard to determine, but I want to know when is a good time to hold our peace and when is a good time to react.
You know, brother, that's a really complicated question, and the only reason why I say it's complicated because it really depends. Every situation is different, and every situation is unique. Like, you want to hold your peace as much as you can, because as Israelites, you always going to be in the wrong. Do you know the reason why camps have cameras now? Do you know? Well, let me tell you why. A lot of people say, oh, all the camps, they go out and they teach and they film themselves because they want glory. No, brothers and sisters, no, that's not why. That might be the after effect of what you're seeing now, but that's not why. The reason why camps have cameras is because in the 90s and in the early 2000s, what was happening was just what this brother said. Brothers were going out and teaching, and they would have a big crowd, and you'd have somebody that comes up in the midst of the crowd, and they want to start a fight, they want to start some contention, whatever, and you in the midst of defending yourself, right? The person might have hit you first, did something to you, you defend yourself, the police come up, you going to jail, not them. It's your word against them, their word, and you an Israelite, so your word don't matter, you going to jail. And brothers was constantly getting locked up. There was one particular time we were at camp, and this white dude, he came up to the camp and he started swinging on brothers, right? And I happened to be standing there. This is in Times Square. I happened to be standing there, and I happened to have my camera, because in the early 90s, most brothers didn't have cameras, but the Most High blessed me early in the game to have a camera. And I happened to be out there filming the video at the camp, and it got hostile, whatever like that. And the police came up, and the damn white man said that we attacked him, and we didn't attack him. So the police were ready to shut the camp down and lock brothers up. I turned my camera on and showed him the video, and then he was like, he pulled a damn white dude down the block with him, whatever, moved him away, and brothers were able to go on and teach the word. This is the evolution of you seeing camps with cameras today. It wasn't for glory, because there was no YouTube in 99, 98, 2002. YouTube was founded, I believe, in 2007. So now I done deviated a little bit, but I'm making a point, right? Each situation requires its own. It has its own unique set of circumstances to tell you when is a good time to react. It's always better not to react. It's always better, because sometimes people come out to the camp and they talk big and they're selling wolf tickets, right? They just want to get you riled up. If you lay hands on that person, you got a big crowd, that crowd is going to turn on you. That person could come up and start the whole thing. That crowd is going to turn on you 8 out of 10 times. So you want to hold your peace as much as you can, unless the person lays, puts their hand on somebody. Like you have like an imaginary line. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. Most camps, the line of, okay, I'm gonna take y'all back, right? In the early days of camps, right, the way the camps were set up, right, was I'm the speaker, right? I got my reader, and most of the camps had platforms where the speaker was up on a platform, like what you read in the book of Nehemiah, right? They were up on a platform, and you had a reader, you had your armor bearers on you, and then below the platform, standing underneath you, right, you had dudes doing security. So that was the line of partition. They could never get to you as the speaker. So a lot of times that kind of alleviated a lot of problems that you had in camp, because the person that's attacking the camp usually wants to attack the speaker. So you usually have, usually have brothers in front of you to alleviate that. What has happened now is that most camps don't use the platform no more, so we're all down on the ground together. So there is no security in front of you, whatever like that. So when you say something somebody don't like, they want to come and they want to attack you. So most camps nowadays, the line of partition is the signs. They're the signs. So this is something that we do. Even when it is productive, a good conversation that I'm having with somebody, right? If somebody crosses the signs, somebody in my camp will go to tell the brother, please, can you step back? I'm saying, don't we have a line. And if we're having a good conversation, the person will respect that. But the line of partition are the signs. When you cross the line with the signs, right, that means that you want a problem. So now I'm on alert. I may not lay hands on you, but now I'm on alert. You see what I'm saying? But you really don't want to lay hands on somebody unless they lay hands on you, because if you do, you're going to be at fault. I'm telling you. And as much as you can, this is another thing I tell brothers, the minute that you see things going left at camp, turn your camera on, your cell phone camera, turn it on. You're going to need that footage. Turn it on. But try your best not to get into no conversation. But I can't really give you an instance where it's like, yeah, brother, you know what? Y'all have a right to react, because if the person didn't lay hands on you and you lay hands first, you're going to be in the wrong every time. Every time.
Right.
And somebody in that audience is going to say that you swung the first blow. So you're going to have to kind of let the person, they don't even have to swing on you. All they got to do is just put their hands on you and you in the right. That's it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to say, lo and behold, believe it or not, you actually answered my question. So,
all praises.
And I thank you for that, Elder. Definitely.
All praises.
And one thing before I leave, touching on the moment thing, we just did a video on Martyrs of Yahweh YouTube channel a few weeks ago where I invited some moments over and we cut them up. So if you want to check it out, definitely check it out, man. It'll be appreciated.
Oh man, could you I don't know if we're friends on Facebook, so you too, if you could email me Maccabeestv@gmail.com and copy and paste the link for your video or your video channel in the email, so I can click on it, and then I'll definitely go over there and check it out. Absolutely. All praise to the Most High for that. Beautiful. So, see, it's all in spirit, man. You didn't even know we was going to talk about this thing today, and y'all was already on that. All praise to the Most High for that, man. Hey, I don't know when you brothers are holding Passover, but we're going to be in Baltimore April the 6th for our Passover. So keep in touch, brother. Even if y'all having your own thing, y'all could just come through, you know what I'm saying, and show love. Whatever. Let's do the brotherhood thing, man.
Oh yeah, we already on it. I'm just talking to, I don't know if you're familiar with the brother, but one of the brothers in my camp, my brother Maccabeestv, was talking with one of the brothers from the Maccabeestv Alliance. He was
telling us that there's going to be a Passover down here in Baltimore that we need to attend. So we're going to be there, definitely.
All praises. Look forward to meeting you, King. So make sure you send me that email, all right?
Same here.
All right, King. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hostile MGTOW, the water for that, man. My man is on it, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, whatever. Y'all calling in with some good stuff. We having a good conversation. I always go over my time when we're having a good conversation. All right, somebody else is calling in. Hold on.
To accept, press 1.
Give me 1 second, family. 1 second. Hello?
Yes, hello, Shalom.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
No, give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Hello?
All right.
Yeah. Live. You don't see I'm live. That's what you're calling me. I'm live. I'm live on my channel. Hello? Yeah, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, Shalom. This is Kaba Shaf Gabor. Shalom. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone in Israel. Calling in reference of the, I know we had the Marshall Allah, the conference, where the brothers was gathered together. And, I definitely like the approach on that. As for the unity and brotherhood, I came into the truth, it was 94, coming from Brooklyn, New York, East Flatbush. 95, went to 125th. I stayed there for a while. And in that duration of time, I think 95, 96, going into 97, there was a split. I believe that split still caused a ripple effect in Israel, and I'm glad that brothers kind of got over that in recent times where they're coming together and camps coming together. As for Israel, the amount of brothers that we have, I think that if we think business-like and try to do things as a community, coming together and doing something for the people or even something for ourselves, I think we got enough men and women to where we can, make this nation grow. Even if we have indifferences with each other, I think if we get more business-like and more, function in that kind of way, it could bring a camaraderie. I think when people dealing with capital, they kind of settle their things to the side and try to focus on what got to be done. That's what I was called to say.
All right, all praises, brother. That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. You're 100% right, and I totally agree with you. What was your, if you don't mind me asking, what was your Hebrew name when you were in this old school? What was your Hebrew name?
Oh, no, Hebrew name same way. That's Chava Shab Gabor. That's Thinking Warrior.
All praises.
I stayed in the nation all the way to, the so-called comfortable situation, and, and after that I had left that organization at the time, which my spirit wasn't really connected because, learning from Ariel and from Short, one of the elders, I kind of stayed in there due to the fact that, okay, these are the men that taught all of us. So, I got caught up with the whole, you got to focus on the Most High in Christ. And I think even with the leadership, that with having a council and letting the Bible be the judge, even with leaders that go off, it should be judged through the scriptures and not as, what you can say, men pleasing. Because, it was kind of rough in 96. Me coming from the streets of East Flatbush, New York was in a turmoil situation, a lot of hardcore business going on, violence. It was, it was at its peak, and the truth was like a safe haven. So when that split happened, it kind of shaked up a lot of young men. I was like 13, 14 years old. I'm going near to 40 right now, but I still keep the faith. And I think you brothers that's still out there teaching gives other brothers that might have been there for a long time some kind of revival to say, hey, I can still keep on going on doing it and, staying in the truth. So, that's all really cool. So I don't want to get too much into that
Right.
history like that. But, I think if we do more business like it'll be a little bit better, you know. So
I thank you for
that's
that,
all I'm
bro.
going to say.
I thank you for that, bro.
And like I said, yeah, one thing with the algin. Now with wine, I know from what I was taught, if it's from fruit, if there's something in the sea that's like grass is on land and grass is in the sea, we can eat it. Because my brother brought a point with the wine. Wine is fermented grapes, you know. So it's not like a live, fully functioning grape like that. It sometimes it ferments, and we can drink wine, or we can drink yeast, barleys, and beers, you know. So I just brought that up with the understanding with the algae and the fungi and stuff like that.
Excellent point. Thank you so much for that, brother. I appreciate the call.
All right, brother.
I appreciate the
Shalom,
call. Shalom, definitely. Yeah, family. So the brother brought up a good point, man. I'm gonna tell y'all that was probably the worst day of my adult life, man. The day that the school split, that broke my heart, man. Cause then I had to choose between the elders, like who, you know, they were going in different directions. Marshaw over here, Ariyah, Shaw, and Yeshai over there. You know what I'm saying? And I loved them all. You know? It was tough. So I definitely know what the brother was talking about. For us young spirits that were in the school land, it was tough, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I guess now that I see what's going on in Israel, it doesn't really affect me because I've seen, it's like watching a movie like 4 or 5 times. You know, after a while, you know the lines, you already know what's going to happen because you done seen the movie. What I see in Israel today, I've seen it 100 times already, man. So it's nothing. Yeah, man, y'all really heavy on the CMOS thing today, I see, man. All right, well, it's good. It's good. I think we're having a productive conversation. We might have to do a whole live on fungus, algae, you know, all that stuff. We might have to do a whole. See, I didn't think a subject like that really interested Israel, or else I would have been did the subject, or you know what I'm saying. I would have let my rib do it because she's more into it even than me. I would have been did the subject because that CMOS thing, that mushroom thing in Israel is a big thing. It's a big thing, but I just didn't know that Israel, you know, was and people are bringing out some great points. So you know what? We're gonna do a whole show on that. We're gonna talk about it. All right. We're going to definitely talk about it, right? The phone number is 908-444-6020, 908-444-6020. Right. Somebody, you said what you eat affects how you think. Absolutely. You know who really brought that home for me? Patrick Dells, man. When he was talking about how like some of the brothers children I should say, that so-called suffer from ADD and different issues, he's like, man, give him a flush. I didn't see the correlation, you know, before, but he's right. It affects you in every way. What you put in your mouth affects you in every way that you could think. Believe it or not, man. So, yeah. All right, family. I ain't gonna be too much longer now. If anybody else wants to call in and tell me what you want to tell me, now's the time. 908-444-6020. 908-444-6020. Some of the things I want to see Israel do in the future, since y'all are telling me, let's talk about health. I want to see Israel get more health conscious, right? I'm glad that we're having these conversations today about CMOS and different things and about clean and unclean. And I think we need to talk about that more, and we need to go a little deeper in that. A lot of us as Israelites, man, you know, we have no concept of what health is. You think listen, man, just because something is not against the law doesn't mean, listen, when you read in the book of Sirach, it tells you about overdoing it with dainties and overdoing it with too much meats and too much this and too much that. The food pyramid that we were given in America is trash. You're not supposed to have meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times a day. You're not supposed to have all that dairy 3 times a day. You're not supposed to eat that. It's too much. All right? Balance is the key. Balance is the key. We need to definitely get more on our health. Maccabeestv. Say your name. Where you calling from?
Calling from Texas.
My man from Texas in the building. Shalom to you. Blessed Sabbath to you. How can I talk to me, King? What can I do for you?
Shabbat shalom. Blessings to you, Elder. Peace. I just wanted to, I'm like you, I reserve judgment on the whole CMOS thing, but I want to make a point to the other elder that just called in. He brought up the grapes. I just wanted to point out the fact that grapes have seeds. So we have to look at that. And also, I think is a correlation, tied to that is where you go into Leviticus, you talking about the law of leprosy, and the law of leprosy relates to having a fungi in the house. You know, when you have the mold, I think mold is a coalition to leprosy. I know that sounds crazy, but I think if you go into the law of leprosy, it links to mold.
No, you're 100% right. Leviticus, when it says if there's leprosy in the house, yeah, you're right.
Yes, sir. And so I believe that it's something that someone should be looking at, that it's like mold of the body that turns white. I think that's got to do with that. Those are just some things that came across my mind, because I know you say y'all going to have a round table about it. I just think somebody should remember that. With the seeds and the grapes and the mold of the body. Yes. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's a great point. See, you brothers and sisters, y'all are on it, and that's why we have to have this conversation. That was a great point. I didn't even look at it like that. You're right. When you go into the book of Leviticus, when it speaks about when we went into the land of Canaan, if there was leprosy in the house, that was talking about mold. All right. Now, the people that don't know the Bible think the leprosy was talking about the people having leprosy in the land, the Canaanites being white people. That's not what it was talking about. It's talking about mold in the house. So the brother's 100% on point with that. That's a good point. So that's something that we have to put on the table with all the other information that's coming out. Great point, King. Okay, thank you. Tawana.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I want to say. I didn't want to hold you up. And I appreciate you, and I'll be calling in the future for some other things. And
yes, sir. Most High be with you, man, and blessings to you and your camp. Shalom, King.
Blessings. Shalom. Shalom.
Yeah, shalom. Now, somebody said something in the chat, and I missed it. And I wanted to address it, too. Man, I guess it'll come back. Did somebody say something in the chat? Somebody said something. It wasn't even on the topic of molding us. Somebody said something in the chat. I'm trying to remember what in the Blue Blazers it was. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, yeah, we got to be more conscious of our health. So that's something I definitely want to talk about more in Israel. I'm glad that just bringing up the topic of the CMOS and everything has, caused a lot of brothers to be calling in and chiming in on the subject. It's good, because that means that everybody's conscious of what they're putting in their body in terms of that is concerned. Whether you're for it or against it, it's good that we're talking. You know what I'm saying? To show that we as Israelites, we can talk and we can learn from each other as well. So that's a good thing. There's a lot of medicinal and health benefits to it. So yeah. But we'll talk about that another time. I don't want to make this whole show just about CMOS. Matter of fact, I probably won't even be the person. I'll let my rib do the show. That's her thing. So health is definitely something that we need to establish more in Israel. I want to see Israelites establish more businesses, right? Some of you brothers and sisters, you have talents that you only utilize for yourself and maybe people around you, and you don't monetize your talents. There's a lot of people around me that have talents that it just took some cultivation and motivation for me to push them forward into doing what I knew that they were talented enough to do, and now it's flourishing, right? monetize your talents. You whatever you're doing or whatever gift the Lord gave you, somebody can utilize that talent. Man, some of you sisters are talented with your hands. You're good at making things, right? You could sew. You can do a bunch of different things, man. We need those things in Israel. We need seamstresses in Israel. We need a lot of stuff in Israel. I'm gonna tell y'all after I take this call. After I take this call, I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters, some of the stuff I need that some of you probably don't even realize that you have the talent to do, and I would pay you for it. I would pay you for it if I knew you knew how to do it and you told me. Anyway, Maccabeestv TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Shalom. I'm calling from Philadelphia. This is Augustus King.
My brother Augustus Kane in the building. Shalom, King. What's good?
Yeah, I want to ask you about CMOS. What do you put CMOS on your food?
No, CMOS is usually CMOS is something you drink, right? I've never heard of it.
I hear about it. I hear about it, but I don't know how to.
Right. So you can, okay, so basically the CMOS is something that you can get, when you get it, right, you can blend it. And you can put it like you can drink it straight, right? Or you can mix it in with other drinks that you drink. You can drink it that way. Also, people are starting to use it in like shampoos and body butters and different things like that as well. So it's also can be something that can be administered to the body, but it mainly is something that you drink, right?
Oh.
Now, what's happening is that because a lot of people aren't really familiar with how to use CMOS, people are already like making it like into gels now, where you can just actually buy the gel form, and you can just like take a spoonful and put it in whatever you're drinking and drink it that way, right? So
right.
One of my household actually, and I didn't really want to. It's the Sabbath, so I can't really get into it. I'm not going to get into no business today, but my household has CMOS available, right? I ain't gonna talk about it today, but y'all, if you're interested in that, get back with me another time. We have CMOS, plenty of it available. Until we establish in Israel that it's not good, right? But that hasn't been established yet. We're talking about it, so we deal with CMOS. All right.
Can you drink that with ginger?
You can blend the CMOS and put ginger in it. Sure.
Yeah. Because right now I'm doing ginger along with green apple and key lime.
Nice. Okay. And what are you doing there?
Sit-ups as well. 50 sit-ups before I do do that.
All right, somebody get Winifred mildew out of here, please. Winifred mildew. No, sorry, 1 second, Augustus. Somebody get Winifred mildew out of here. All right, go ahead, Augustus.
Yeah. So those 50 sit-ups, and then before I do the juicing, I'm trying to get in shape, get in a good shape for the Passover.
Good. All praises, brother.
Right.
Yes, definitely, man. All right, man. Well, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. Well, yeah, brother. So I look forward to seeing you at Passover this year. Most I will. April 6th, Baltimore. We got you covered, Augustus. I look forward to seeing you, King. All right.
Yeah. And another thing before I get out of here, what's with the sisters? Like the sisters are just being abused because while you was live, I went to the store, to buy some, just to pick up a few stuff, and I see one of the employees. She's dressed as a Muslim, and her eye is so messed up. Her eye was punched in and out by some abusive so-called relationship or lover. I mean, what is your inputs on that?
My input on that is that no man should be beating his woman. If a woman brings you to the point where you feel like you need to lay hands on her, then you need to separate from her. Whether you're going to put her away for a while until you can reconcile your differences, or you just need to get away from her, period. Give her ability. We don't support divorce, but sometimes divorce is inevitable. It's inevitable. Especially when a relationship didn't start off the right way. You didn't get a chance to know the person. You just went and laid with her, and now you with her and you realize you don't like her. That's why we always encourage people to come into this truth and get into marriages and relationships the right way. But with that being said, If it gets to a point where you feel like you want to put hands on a woman, you should leave. There's no situation where you should be with a woman, you put your hands on her, and then 2 days later you laying down and having sex with her. That is insane. That is the very definition of insanity. Walk away.
I don't understand. I would never understand.
Walk away, man. And let me tell you something, man. It's listen. As you listen to me, I'm going to try to be as vague as I can possibly be. As I'm saying this, I'm talking to myself because I've been in situations where I've been with women that have been absolutely bird shit crazy. I'm just going to call it bat shit crazy. That's the word, right? They've been out of their mind crazy, and that thought comes in your mind like somebody really like messing with you for no reason, like you know what I'm saying, just messing with you for no reason. And that thought comes in your mind, but you have to remember who you are. You're a man of the Lord, right? So you don't put yourself in that position. If she's that bad, then you leave her alone. You leave her alone. You understand what I'm saying to you? There was a sister years ago, that was with a brother, and the sister was giving the brother absolute hell. And the brother would not put the sister away, but finally the brother put the sister away, right? And she got with Jake out in the world. And within 6 months, Jake out in the world put her in a freezer. I mean, you understand what I mean by put her in a freezer? She was in a freezer, and then 2 days later, man, she was 6 feet under. Understand? Because the brother that was in the brother. I mean, okay, you don't understand slang. The brother in the world put her to death. Because the brother in the truth didn't believe in putting hands on her. He was right. He didn't believe in putting hands. And that woman was doing all types of evil. She was putting hands on him, all types of stuff. And he wouldn't leave her. Finally, the brother got the strength to put the sister away. She went and tried it with Jake in the world, and Jake in the world took her life. Took her life. All right? We don't condone that. We don't condone that at all. If a woman brings you to that level, man, before you put yourself in a level where you're going to put hands on her, leave her. Leave her alone. The Most High will send you a better woman. But now that goes into us as Israelites making better choices and mates and relationships, which we're not making. Not only, and let me say this, man, not only are Jake and the world not making good decisions when it comes to relationships, but Israelites are not making good decisions when it comes to picking mates. They picking mates for carnal reasons. When you read in the book of Tobit, Tobit said you're not supposed to take your wife for lust, man. Yes, you're supposed to be attracted to her. Yes, you're supposed to think your wife is beautiful. But if that's all she have, you ain't supposed to be with her. She's supposed to have more to offer you than that. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to see in your wife something you and her can build together. Right, you and that woman can build together. Y'all can have a future together, right? That's what you're supposed to prove that woman before you get with her. And listen, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, from experience, I've been in this truth going on almost 30 years. I'm telling y'all, as a young man, I was doing that. I was taking women for lust. Oh, she's pretty. That's all I cared about. That's what young men do. It tells you in the Apocrypha, there's nothing a man loves more than the beauty of a woman. Nothing. Nothing. Jay-Z, and you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z wrote a song called The Power of the P. I'm not going to spell out the rest of the word. But he wrote a song called The Power of the P. I'm going to tell y'all something. That song is on point. Because he breaks down that everything that dudes do, they do for females. In the world. I'm not talking about Israelites in the truth. In the world. You dress fly because you want to pull a female. You work out and get a six-pack, you're doing that because you want to pull a female. You drive a nice car, you're doing that because you want to pull a female. And then you wind up pulling the wrong female. Her priorities ain't straight. You lay down with her, realize you don't like her. Now y'all hitting each other, abusing each other. Next thing you know, you lay hands on her, hurt her, you in jail or whatever. So we don't condone that. So we have to teach our people the right way to get into relationships. I made a lot of mistakes as a young man. A lot. You see what I'm saying? I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned from my mistakes. And I mean, when I say I learned, the Most High kicked my ass for my mistakes. Really, really. You know what I'm saying? I learned, like they say, a hard head makes a soft ass. I'm a living example of that. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm in a relationship where the Most High has blessed me with a wife that's the type of woman that I needed. You understand what I'm saying? And by the way, as long as I'm on the subject, let me just say this too, man. Everybody really needs to go back and reread Proverbs 31. I tell people this all the time. A Proverbs 31 woman is not a woman that wears a mitre and a head wrap and a long dress. That's not a Proverbs 31 woman. A Proverbs 31 woman is not a woman that okay, she have her husband and okay, she doesn't sleep around, whatever like that. That's not a Proverbs 31 woman. Those are good qualities. A Proverbs 31 woman is an industrious woman. Read that. Read about that woman. That's an industrious woman. That's what she is. So when you're looking for a wife, you need to be considering those things in Proverbs 31. What type of woman is she? Is she this woman right here that's going out doing all these things? That has all these qualities? None of those qualities in Proverbs 31 has anything to do with wearing a head wrap or a long dress at all. And so if we get with the right woman and apply the scriptures and the wisdom in the scriptures, we'll have better relationships. It's not foolproof. It's not. Some of us are still going to get into relationships, and somebody will show you what they want to show you to get you. And then when you get with the woman, once you get with the woman, she's going to drop the act and show herself. I've had women like that. I've been with sisters, so-called sisters, that were in the truth, but they really just wanted to be with me. You know what I'm saying? And I get with the sister, and she's wearing the head wrap, and she's doing this, and she's doing that. And then the minute that I get with the sister and we dealing, she'll hold that down for like a year. And after a year, she drop it. And now the real her comes out. I don't believe in the truth no more. I don't this, I don't that. It happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. So, you know, we got to choose better and do better. But we don't support any man laying hands on a woman whatsoever. Yo, I'm going to tell you a story, man. I'm going to tell you a story without, let me see. I'm going to tell y'all a story. This story is so ill, right? No disrespect to my beautiful Israelite sisters that's in the right spirit. This doesn't affect you, man. But you brothers, you got to really watch the type of women y'all get with. And don't get with these women that are beautiful just for no reason. First of all, a lot of these women out here, listen, I'm just going to be real. If you offended, you offended. But I'm a man. I speak how I speak. A lot of these women out here that you look at and think are beautiful, a lot of them have been with so many men. Like, do you really want, as a man of God, a priest, a king, do you really want that? Unless if she's willing to repent, she's a new creature. Yes, you would want her because she's a new creature. But if she hasn't repented, you want her just because she's pretty. Do you know how many men tell her she's pretty every day? You know how many brothers push up on her every day? You know how many men she's probably sleeping with if she's always in the club every day? You don't want that. Don't go for a woman just based on her beauty. Don't do that. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a story, right? I was talking to a police officer. This is what the police officer told me. Listen to this story, y'all. Tell me if this is not crazy. The police officer was telling me there was a dude that had a woman. He got with the woman because she was fine as could be. Got with her, right? All right. The woman was bat SHI crazy. He didn't know it. So she got with the dude. The dude had his shit going on. He had a good job. He had all that stuff going on with him, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And she got with I guess she got with him because she saw what he had. He was with her because she was beautiful. After a while, she started showing her true colors. So the dude cut her off. He broke up with her, right? Let me tell you what this woman did, brethren. This woman, right, went to the police department when he broke up with her. She went to the police department and told the police department that he abused her. The man never touched her. He abused her, right? She went and got an order of protection against the guy. Now, the guy went to court and he didn't fight the order of protection because he had no intention of being with this woman at all. He said, I don't want her. Let her have it. I don't give a damn about her, right? Didn't know that when a woman has an order of protection, if she calls the police on you, you getting locked up. You could be in goddamn Australia and she could be here in America. She called 911 and say that you threatened her. The minute your ass come back from Australia, they're not looking at your plane ticket. They're not asking you where you was. The minute you come off the plane, you in handcuffs, you going to jail. And you got to go stand before the judge, and then the judge will look at your plane ticket and dismiss the case. But you're going to go through the system first, right? So the brother gave the woman the order of protection that she asked for and went on with his life, so he thought. When she got the order of protection, she knew what she had in her hands. She waited till the brother went to work, climbed up his fire escape in his building, Opened the window. I guess he must have left the window open because the air conditioner was in the window. Opened the window, pushed the air conditioner out the window, and went into his apartment while he's at work. And completely ransacked the dude's apartment. Completely destroyed it. When she was finished destroying his apartment, she went down to the police station and told the police officers he threatened her. Now, the police department went to his apartment, right? And as they arrived, this dude is coming home from work. He don't know what's going on. What do y'all think happened? What do y'all think happened? Let me tell you. They arrested him. Not her, him. Why? Because she had an order of protection. Because she had an order of protection. She ransacked his apartment and they had to arrest him. Why? Because he got with a woman that was beautiful, but she was crazy. Because he didn't prove her. He didn't prove her. That's insane. And the police officers, they were mad because when this is some detectives telling me this. They were mad because they looked at the apartment. They could clearly see that she was in his apartment and she destroyed it. But the paperwork said he had to go to jail. Now, you tell me, if you're not in this truth and somebody do that to you, you already know what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to retaliate with all 10 fingers, right? But if you try to prove a woman first, if you go about it the right way, you have a better chance of not having to go through that. It's not foolproof, but you have a better chance. But some of these women out here will cause you to want to lay hands on them. I'm advising you, brothers, don't do it. Walk away. That brother had to walk away. And also, I left one part out. The detectives had to warn him not to retaliate because they knew exactly, they knew this dude was going to want to get her back. They told him that if she scratch herself, like I don't know, if she trip over something and fall, they locking him up because they know that he did it. They know that he retaliated. That's what they said. So it's crazy out here, bro. Some of these women will make you want to lay hands on them, but you can't. We don't support that. All right, we don't support that.
Yeah, I was just talking with my Uber driver. He said lots of women are crazy.
Yeah. Listen, brother, I had made a pact with myself that I wasn't dealing with no women. Prior to me meeting my rib, I wasn't dealing with no, because listen, it's just because I have the knowledge, I'm going to tell y'all straight, the women that I would come across was all putting on the front just because they want to get with a brother, but they weren't sincere about the truth. And it was really, I mean, you don't know that till you're with them for a while and then they show their true colors. You don't know. I was proving these women, some of them, waiting the 6 months. When you join Lines of Israel, our rule is if you meet a sister, I can't control what you do in the world, but if you meet a sister in the camp and you want to deal with a sister in the camp, you got to prove her for 6 months at least, right? So most brothers don't like that rule. You know what I'm saying? They want to just smash on sight. So they go out in the world and they get these women out in the world that's not real. The woman might like you, but she's not sincere about the truth. And then you wind up with a demon. You wind up with a demon, and I got to sit down now and counsel y'all. Now I got to sit down and counsel y'all. Right? When you could have waited the 6 months like I told you to do. But that's how it works, man. As Israelites, we're not making the right decisions, male and female. Some of you sisters, you get with brothers because of how they look. Some of you sisters, you get with brothers because women are attracted to power, right? So some of you sisters come to the truth. You see a man and you might see him like he has a large presence on social media, or he might, whatever. You just see something in the man that you like and you give yourself to him and you don't prove him. There might be a brother that was better for you, but he don't have the name. Listen, when we were in the old school at One West, the women that was coming through there, they was only wanting to deal with dudes that was high-ranking captains and generals. That's it. They wasn't dealing with the young men at all. At all. They was going for the men with power. Let me tell you something, man. With the exception of maybe one or two, none of them sisters is around anymore. None of them. Because you went for the wrong thing. You see the guy over there, that's the big general, and everybody calls him this and that and the third, and you running behind him, and that dude didn't give a damn about you. And treated you like you know what. Because you didn't make the right choice. Every man that tries to court you Women, you don't have, come on, man. Some of you sisters got to make better decisions too. Right? You don't prove a brother. You give yourself to a brother in a short amount of time, and then that brother is laying hands on you. Now you on Facebook making a post talking about all Israelite men abuse their wives. Who told you that? I never hit a sister. I've been in this truth going on 30 years. I've never hit a woman, ever. And I've had some demons. Every Israelite man is not abusive to their woman. That's a lie. The problem is you came into the truth, but you carried your bad habits of picking a mate from the world into the truth with you. That's the problem. Because you couldn't wait. That's the problem. Because you went on YouTube and Facebook and was looking at whose name was popping in Israel. Who's the big names in Israel. Some of you women think like that. I gotta have real talk with y'all sometime. I don't get on y'all, but some of y'all women think like that. I was working on a job. It was a black woman too, right? I was working on a job. This black woman comes into the job, right? As the Most High is recording me if I'm lying, this black woman came on a job. The first day she started, you know what she says to me? I don't know who she thought I was, because, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I guess it was her first day. She didn't know me from nothing. She don't know who I am. The Rib looks at me and says, who do I have to F around here to get ahead? As the Lord is my witness. As the Lord is my witness. That's what she said. First day. And brothers and sisters, she did exactly that when she came into the company. And it was a good-looking sister, too. Good-looking sister. But, you know, she did exactly that. All right? Hey, Augustus, I'm going to let you go, bro. I got to go. We'll talk again, all right? Most High be with you, King.
All right.
Shalom.
All right.
Yeah. Swear, Most High is my witness, man. The Rib looked at me and said, I couldn't believe it. I had never at the time ever had a female be that bold to actually just say, you know, women talk amongst themselves like that. I expect them to talk amongst themselves like that. But I don't know this lady from Adam. And I'm a man. So I definitely didn't expect her to say that to me. But at the time, at the company, I was like a supervisor at the company, but I wasn't a top supervisor. I was just a supervisor. So it was her first day. So she wanted to know who had the power. And like brothers and sisters, she found out who had the power, and she was laying with that dude too in no time. And I already knew he wasn't, because she was a good-looking sister. She was. I'm not going to sit here and hold you. She was. She was. And the dude that she was laying with was a whoremonger, so it was a recipe made for disaster. And some of the sisters in Israel, you have habits like that in the world. You're supposed to have repented, but you come to the truth and you doing the same thing. You looking around to who you can get with. Because if your husband, listen, it's understandable. It's in the nature of a woman. The nature of a man is to like a beautiful woman, period. Nothing you sisters can do about that. Anytime a man sees a beautiful woman, it's going to get his attention. It's just that. That's his nature. That's why I always tell sisters, it's in your best interest to try to be as, you know, look through. You see what your man like? Then you do that. You carry yourself like that. That's what you do. And it's in a woman's nature to like power. Because she attached her name to power, now she have a name and status because of who her husband is. That's in her nature. But sometimes you move too quickly in that direction based on your nature, and you don't apply the scriptures, and you wind up in a bad situation. Nerd stuff said horrible. Wow. Yeah, that's why in Muslim countries they make their women wear hijabs, but our women didn't wear hijabs like that to cover their beauty. They covered their head and stuff like that, but they didn't wear hijabs to cover their beauty. You know what I'm saying? You know, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You know, you can see a sister that is beautiful. Even if you can see a sister that's beautiful, and you can, as a man, you can acknowledge the sister's beautiful. But if she has a husband, you know that there's a line there you don't cross because it's against the law. You would never lay with the woman. It doesn't mean that you can't still see a sister as a beautiful sister. You can see that. We don't have to have our women running around wearing hijabs because we have the law. And the law is what governs us. That woman is a beautiful woman, but she has a husband. She's off limits. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So if we got witches in here, say the name. Somebody said we have witches in here. If we have witches in here, what's the name of the profile that's the witch, so that the moderators could block them? Put the person on blast in the chat, and so the moderators can block them. That's all. Veruca Short is the witch. I moderators watch Veruca Short. If she's saying or he is saying something crazy, block him. Don't even time him out. Just block him. That's it. All right. So let's getting back to All right. So block Veruca Short because everybody's saying that's a witch or a troll. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat. So we were talking about endurance, and then we got off into talking about a whole bunch of other subjects. I wanted to also say, man, we were talking about some of the things that you brothers and sisters wanted to see in Israel from leadership. A lot of y'all complain about camps, right? I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, something. Every camp is not bad. Y'all need to stop saying that. I understand that there's a lot of camps that give Israel a bad name. I understand that. It's true. But every camp is not bad. You have brothers and sisters that are in camps and camp leaders that are sincere and are doing good works and are building people up. Everybody is not bad. Now, if being a camp is not for you, then don't do it. But one bad experience shouldn't turn you off from camps. I was a part of several camps and had a few bad experiences. And then finally, myself and Priest Maloy, we got together and said, we want to be the change in Israel that we want to see. So we're going to establish a camp called Lions of Israel, and we're going to try to deal with the people the way that we wanted to be dealt with when we were young. And I can honestly say that Elder Marshall, who was the head of One West, is who I patterned myself as far as leading a camp. I patterned myself after Marshall, the way he dealt. Marshall was a good brother. Y'all will never know, but y'all can take it from me. Of all the leaders of One West, Marshall was the best brother in the spirit. In the spirit, Mo was the best brother. The way that he judged matters, the way he dealt with brothers. And you know what I love about Marshall most of all? Marshall loved the young man. That's why you'll always catch me around the young brothers, man. Some of y'all wonder, well, yo, Dan, you left music for so long. Why you come back and you doing rap records again and stuff like that? I'm not doing rap records for me. I'm doing rap records because the young people got a hold of some of my old music and was like, yo, man, you should make music again. So I do it because the experience of being around the young brothers. We go to the studio together, we do this, we do that, we build a camaraderie, a brotherhood, whatever, and then some music comes out of it. That's why I do it. I'm not doing it for me. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to be Migos and nothing like that. I'm not doing that for that. I do it because I love the young people. That's why. And I'm always going to be around the young people. Even when I get older, I'm in my 60s and stuff like that, my circle around me going to be the young dudes, man. A lot of you old dudes, man, is bitter and angry for no reason. And be hating on the young brothers too, man. At some point, we as elders are going to have to pass the mantle to some of these younger brothers in camps that's coming up. That's why for me, I always big up some of the younger brothers I see doing the work. I big them up. Even if I don't agree with everything that they say and do, I big them up. Because somebody got to take the mantle up. My man Joel Benjamin in the building, Joel Benjamin 528. Thank you for the donation. Family, make sure y'all subscribe to Joel's channel. Joel been a supporter of the Israelites for a long time, man. A long time. One of our biggest supporters of Israel. So make sure that y'all support that brother back, man. All right? Yeah, so you're going to always see me, yeah, right? That's that sticker is funny, right? Yeah, you always see me around the young folks, man. I love the young folks. You know what I'm saying? They have a special energy, man. And the young folks are a clean slate. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, some Israelites have been in this truth for so long. You so disenfranchised, so disenchanted, so angry, so bitter, because you might have had some bad experiences in Israel, and you're so angry, you're so bitter that there's no talking to you. Right? One bad experience in the camp, and now we're all camps are evil. Right? I said something before. I'm going to repeat it. Because somebody was hating on the subject, but I'm going to keep it a buck. I have a good name in Israel after all these years. I can say that. Somebody said you shouldn't be saying, yeah, why can't I say it? I've worked for that shit. I've earned that thing. I have a good name in Israel. After all these years, nobody could come forward and say, I did nothing to none of you dudes or sisters. I don't be in y'all sisters' inbox. I don't be trying to talk to married women. I don't be, you know what I'm saying? I don't be doing none of that crazy stuff. I don't be whoremongering, sleeping with every woman that come at me. I don't do none of that stuff, man. Not because I'm perfect, but because the Bible says that if you preach the gospel, you should live up the gospel. That's talking about finances, but you can also apply that to your life, right? And the scriptures also say a bishop has to be blameless. Blameless. There shouldn't be no accusations out here. You stole money. You committed adultery, you did this, you did that. You're not supposed to be sitting in that position. Right? And I don't want to be responsible for causing the spirit to lead the truth because it's something I did. So I go out my way to try and deal with brothers and sisters right. And that should be your goal in Israel as you come up. CJO, that's a great point. Skills and trades should be passed down in Israel. And each camp should be known for something. Right. And then all the camps come together. And for instance, I'll give you a perfect example, right? One of the things that I've been saying, I did a show a long time ago, I think maybe about a year ago, on some of the things I want to see in Israel. One of the things I said I want to see in Israel is I want to see more Israelite women not going into the hospital having babies. There needs to be more doulas and midwives in Israel. Every camp doesn't necessarily need to have one. But there should be more doulas and midwives in Israel. Right? If you are a camp that you have good finances and good money, whatever like that, take a sister of good report and reputation in Israel that may be working a job that's not really anything, and pay for the course and put the sister through doula school. Or midwife school, whatever it is, whatever the term is. Put her through. And that sister can go around Israel, not just her camp, don't be selfish, but go around Israel, and if sisters want to do home births or whatever like that, that sister can do it, and we can stop having our children in these hospitals. Nowadays, these hospitals don't want to circumcise the boys. They try to talk the woman out of it when you walk out the room, try to tell the mother it's trauma. They're injecting the babies with all types of stuff. The minute the baby is coming out the damn womb, the hospital's already trying to put Similac in their mouth, which is poison. They're keeping the woman center and then selling it to big pharma, these corporations behind your back. All because we're having our children in the hospital. The woman is laying on her back, having a damn near near-death experience. That's the word I'm looking for. A near-death experience because she's on her back, because she's not supposed to be on her back delivering the baby. So we need doulas in Israel. We don't have to wait for more sisters to come in. There's sisters right now in Israel that you can put through school if your camp has the finances and you be a brother and allow the sister to go around to different camps and service different camps, right? Another thing, you got one brother in Israel, one, unless y'all know somebody else, one brother in Israel that goes around to all the camps and prepares the body and does the funeral. Do y'all know that? One brother I know named Zaparah. That's it. Now, that's not a job I want. But when we as Israelites die, y'all do know that the body is not supposed to be embalmed, right? When you embalm a body, that's almost like mummification. It's nothing but a modern form. It's not exactly mummification, but it's almost a modern form of mummification, what you're doing to the body. You're not supposed to do that. The body is supposed to be prepared and go into the ground almost immediately. Right? So there's a brother in Israel named Za'ab Parah. Za'ab Parah has offered many times to do a course or a class to get brothers and sisters certified in Israel so that when somebody passes away in a congregation, there should be people that go around to different congregations and you prepare the body according to Israelite customs so that we can bury the body. There's only one brother that does that. Why are there not more? Now, that's not my office. I don't like that. But somebody has to do it. And somebody within the sound of my voice, that may be something that you wouldn't have a problem doing. We need to see that in Israel. We could put we could come together and put some money together to put a few people through the course, pay for it as Israelites, so that we can have that service available to all of us. These are the things that we really need to be talking about. Right? We need people in Israel, we need more seamstress than people in Israel that sew. Everybody's going to the same 3 or 4 brothers, at least a lot of the camps that I know, are going to the same 3, 4, 5 brothers for garments. And then what's happening, unfortunately, is you got whole camps that's not getting their garments on time for Passover and all types of craziness going on because there's only a handful. Everybody's going to the same 4 or 5 people. There's probably more brothers and sisters within the sound of my voice that do garments, but you ain't saying nothing. You could sew, you have talent, and you're not saying nothing. And if you presented yourself, Israel would support you. And maybe you don't even have to work a regular job. There's always somebody that needs some fringes sewn on. There's always somebody that needs a garment made. There's always somebody that needs a headpiece. There's always somebody that needs something. We need that. And if you have that in your camp, you can also share that with other camps. So that that person in your camp can make more money. You understand what I'm saying to you? We need these things in Israel. I need to know in Israel, why is it I don't know anybody. You got all these camps in New York. Well, you got like 20 camps here in New York. There's no Israelites that do mechanic work. Not even one. I got to take my car to these robbing behind places to do my mechanic work when I need it done because I don't have an Israelite that does that. Some of y'all brothers and sisters have talent. Or take one of these young brothers that don't have no direction in Israel, doesn't really know what they want to do, that's working a dead-end job, and put them through the course. They got a course right down here in New York on 23rd Street, an automotive course. You could put a brother through it. And that brother could go around and help Israelites out and be a mechanic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta have more vision than what we have. We got to think bigger than what we're thinking. Like the brother said before, if every camp did something like that, pick something and pick somebody in your congregation and get behind that brother or sister and put them through whatever course they need to go through to get that skill to bring back to the nation. That's what we need. That's what we need. Now you have some camps that have a lot of resources, but they only keep it to themselves. They don't allow that resource to go outside their walls. That's off too. That's just my opinion. That's off too. And the Most High sees that thing. You know that there's people in Israel that might have a need for that service, but because they're not with you, you don't encourage that brother or sister to help Israelites in general. You don't encourage them to do that. You almost forbid them to do that. When maybe if they were able to reach outside of their particular camp to other Israelites, they could probably do that skill as a business 24/7, and they don't have to work for it. They don't have to work for Esau. And they could take the Sabbath off. These are the things that we need to be talking about. Let's move on. Y'all get the picture, right? One last thing, and this is probably the most important, and I say it because I see my brother Joel Benjamin in the house. So I want to end with this. The number one thing, thank y'all for hitting the like button. I see my likes going up, although some of y'all are in here and didn't hit it. Still love y'all anyway. Apparently y'all don't got no love for me, but I love y'all anyway. Last thing, and most important, and it's relevant to the time we're living in right now, brothers and sisters. And remember always, anytime anybody says something to you, right? When they point the finger, what do they say? You got 3 fingers pointing back at you, right? So whatever I point out to you, brothers and sisters, that you need to do, I got 3 fingers pointing back at me saying to me that I need to do it 3 times as much as well. We as Israelites need to get more spiritual. Ask yourself this checklist. Do you, when you open your eyes in the morning, do you pray? Do you pray when you come in? Do you? When's the last time you did that? Do you pray before you go to sleep? Do you? You get in the car and you make it from point A to point B. You give the Most High thanks for making it to your destination safely. You might think that that stuff is nothing. Let me tell y'all something. I drive on the highway every day. I'm passing cars that are overturned, trucks that are overturned on top of cars. It's like a scene of death every day when I get on the highway. People are not making it home from just driving. Yo, the drivers here in New York are absolutely crazy. The way that they drive. You put your life at risk every time you get in the car over here. These people are crazy. Do we pray enough? You gotta ask yourself that. If not, going into this new year, you gotta fix that. How many of us are fasting outside of the Day of Atonement, which is commanded for you to fast? How many of us are fasting on a regular basis? You know what I told a brother the other day? This is what I told a brother. There's a particular brother that has an issue, personal issue with himself that he's trying to get together. And the brother has been trying to get this issue together for a long time and it's not working because he's trying to do it of himself. When you read in the Gospels, now I'm just winging it, y'all can look it up yourself. There was a particular time where the apostles were trying to exorcise a demon from a particular individual and they weren't able to do it. And then Yahushua, Christ, came and he was able to exorcise that demon or that spirit from that same person that the apostles were not. And when they asked Yahushua, how were you able to get that demon out? Yahushua said there are certain spirits that only can be removed by doing what? Fasting and praying. That's it. That's it. That's it. So, if there's an issue that you have within yourself, if there's an issue that Danyaahla has within himself, that you've been working on for a long time, and you can't shake it, you still have this issue with you, you know you got it, you know it's wrong, you're trying to get rid of it, you're trying to stop, but you're not able to stop. It's not because you're weak. What it is the scriptures tell you that spirit might need you to fast and pray to get rid of it. And to be quite frank, if we're all being honest with ourselves, many of us don't fast except for the Day of Atonement. So going into this year, set a goal for yourself. I'm going to fast more. I'm going to fast once a month. I'm going to fast once every 2 months if once a month is too much for you. Then there's different types of fasts. You can go on a liquid fast. Maybe you can last 2 days with that if you can't do without food. Maybe you just go on a fruit and vegetables fast where you won't eat cooked food for a day or two or whatever. Something. Show the Most High something. That doesn't just go for y'all, it goes for me too. We got to get more spiritual. We cannot wait until all hell breaks loose. Then everybody going to be all prayed up. Y'all do realize all hell is about to break loose, right? Y'all do realize that, right? Y'all do realize that being in this truth, we're about to go through tribulation. Y'all do realize that, right? If you in this truth and you serious about this truth, we're marked men. I'm a marked man doing what I do. All of us that teach, we're marked men. It's only a matter of time before they come against us openly. We can't wait till then when Esau is about to bang your door in and drag you off to a concentration camp or something. Then you're going to pray, oh, Father, Most High, deliver me. No, no. We all got to get more spiritual now. The handwriting is on the wall. Y'all see it. You see what's going on with Iran. You see what's going on with Russia. Y'all see that. You see prophecies. Now, we're not saying that what's going on is the beginning of World War III. The Bible says wars and rumors of wars. But it's definitely all leading in that direction. As they say, the pieces on the chessboard are being moved. So the Most High is moving all the pieces in place to bring about World War III. Let's not wait until all hell breaks loose to start praying and fasting. They start dropping bombs. All right, Israel, we need to go on a fast because it's getting crazy. No, do it now. Do it now. That's the key. So again, this goes out to everybody within the sound of my voice and myself. If there is an issue, and we all have them, that you've been working on within yourself and your spirit, whatever it is, that isn't right, that you know that the Most High is not pleased with you with, and you're not able to shake it, it might be because you don't fast enough and pray enough. And Christ was clear about that. There's certain spirits that only can be removed that way. We got to get way more spiritual. All right? Don't you know? I'm just going to wing it, right? Don't you know when you read the book of Revelation, it tells you the angels pour out the prayers of the saints, I'm paraphrasing, before the Most High. And when the Most High hears these prayers and everything, that's what's going to incite him to send Christ to come back and deliver us. You should be praying for the Most High to deliver you. Cry out every day. Yo, I'm tired of this place. I'm tired of this society. I'm tired of the evil. I'm tired of everything. Pray, 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 pray. Ask the Most High. The angels take those prayers and pour them before the Most High. The Most High hears those prayers. But if we're not praying to the Most, there's nothing for them to bring forth. That's going to push the Most High to bring this thing. On his end. On our end, we got to teach. And gather the elect. And pray. Right? We all have to do that. That should be, I don't know what y'all are over there talking about. Sometimes I can't even look at the comments because y'all just throw me right the hell off. Peace, this guy. That's what's up, man. You know what? The fact that you can admit that to yourself, that you don't pray enough, is good. Because if we don't admit our faults to ourselves first, you gotta be real with yourself. The Bible says examine yourself whether you be in the faith, right? So the first thing you have to do is you have to admit to yourself what your shortcomings are. And then sometimes the Most High will send somebody to tell you what your shortcomings are. And you can't be mad because somebody, especially if they're telling you the truth. Right? Whether y'all believe it or not, man, somebody's always telling me what I don't do. You don't do enough shows. You don't do this. You don't do that. I hear it all the time. And you know what? Sometimes when people tell, listen, man, I got certain brothers in my circle, man. Like I said, like a good brother. Shout out to my man, Captain Ashasha, man. That's always a, listen, if there's one brother that do not hesitate to tell me where I fall short, what I'm supposed to be doing and what I'm not doing enough of or whatever like that. And I'm not mad at the brother because I realize that the Most High probably, everybody's not in a position to come talk to me like that. Certain people are not in a position to come and talk to me a certain way. But certain people, I allow them in my space to, you know what I'm saying, because they, you know, that's good. And that brother never hesitates to tell me I don't do enough of, as a leader in Israel, he got a checklist of all that I'm not doing. And you know what? Sometimes he called me and I'll be one to hear it. Like in my spirit, I'm like, not today, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a buck. He called me, I'm like, I don't want to hear this today, man. But then I catch myself and I'm like, but that might be the Lord speaking through him. I do need to check that. I do need to do more of that. You know what? I'm not doing enough of that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, all that. This is what the brother does. This is what he does, right? So the first person that you have to be honest with in this truth is yourself. So be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I'm falling short in this particular area. I gotta fix that. I'm committing this transgression. I gotta fix that. If you're not able to fix that, try some fasting and some prayer. Talk to a brother or a sister that you could trust, or a leader that you could trust. Somebody that's not going to judge you for your sin. I shouldn't say judge you. Someone that's not going to condemn you because you have a shortcoming, but that's rather going to encourage you, and is also not going to tell everybody about it. You know? Sometimes some of you brothers and sisters, you just need to talk, and you don't have a counselor. Because you count everybody in Israel as an enemy. Everybody in the camp, every leader, everything is an enemy, and everybody's not your enemy. Some brothers and sisters are sincere in this truth, and they can give you good counsel if you seek it. If you humble yourself and you seek it, believe it or not. I've had people tell me some things in this truth, man. And how, you know what I'm saying? You got to crack your neck when you hear, like, what, for real? You know what I'm saying? But then you got to catch yourself, man. We all come from somewhere. We all come from somewhere. We all did something. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, anyway, that's another thing, man. We just need to be more spiritual. More spirituality in Israel, man. Say them prayers, burn that incense, that frankincense and myrrh. Say them prayers and fast, brothers and sisters, fast. And if I could, nah, brother, they was never in One West, bro. They was never in One West. That's not 100% true, brother. They was never in One West. I would know. If you want a rundown of who was at One West, I'll tell you who was there. They was not there. They affiliated with brothers that were from One West, yes, but they themselves were not from One West at all. Yeah. What I wanted to say was another thing about fasting real quick, and I'm going to jump off that topic. Your organs need to rest. Do you brothers and sisters realize that your organs are working 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? Just like you need a rest. The Most High gives you the Sabbath to rest. You don't think your organs need a rest sometimes? You don't think your digestive system needs a rest sometimes? You don't think so? That's a lot of times why we die young. We're filling our bodies with all types of food that are hard to digest, hard to process, 3 times a day, every day, because we're following the food pyramid we were given, right? And your body's constantly working, and your body starts breaking down, and you 45, 50 years old. When your body starts breaking down, it's through years and years and years of abuse and neglect, and sometimes it's in ignorance, meaning you didn't know, so nobody's condemning you. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach you and show you a different way. Sometimes fasting is for spiritual purposes first and foremost, but sometimes you need to fast just because you need to give your organs a rest. Have a day, man, where you just eat plants, you just eat salad. You don't have to eat complex carbohydrates. Just to give your digestive tract self a rest. Like sometimes I'll tell my rib, listen, man, just make some vegetable chili. And I'll eat that for 2 days. That'll be I'll have that for lunch and dinner. Nothing in there but damn vegetable. Corn, beans, peas, you name it. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Everybody that was donating, CJO, thank you for your donation as well. Thank you. Corn, all that stuff like that. And I'll eat that for 2 or 3 days because my body is telling me my organs need a rest. It'll tell me. I'll know. I'll feel bloated. I'll feel tired. I'll just feel sluggish, all that stuff. So my body's giving me a hint, like, hey, bro, lay off the food for a while. Another thing, too, I'll do when I start feeling like that, I'll do a flush. I'll take a flush or a colon cleanse and clean my gut out. It'll send me to the bathroom, not to be funny. I'll eliminate a lot of stuff. And then let me tell you something. After you do a colon cleanse or a flush, after you do that first time you go to the bathroom, you feel, I mean, we say it as a joke, but really you feel about 10 pounds lighter. You do. And that gallbladder flush that Patrick Delves recommends, a lot of you brothers and sisters have gallstones and you don't even know it. And when you go to the bathroom and you look down, you see you passed stones and you didn't even know you had them. So these flushes are good. And the fasting, and also when you take the gallbladder flush, you're not allowed to eat for like the first day, the 24 hours. So you automatically are on a fast just by taking that flush. So it's all good. There are spiritual reasons to fast, and then there's health-related reasons to fast too, and they're both equally important. All right? What else? I think I touched on everything, man. I have something on here about the sisters, man. I'm gonna leave this for a woman to say. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna bring some sisters on this channel, and I want the sisters to come on here and talk about it, because we have the sisters of the Maccabees channel, but not all of y'all that are on here are over there. Although every woman within the sound of my voice, you should be subscribed to Sisters of the Maccabees. That was created for the women, right? But y'all want to be over here, that's fine too. This channel's for y'all too. But I'm going to bring a sister on here to talk to you sisters about the state of sisterhood in Israel, because I'm going to tell you how the state of the sisterhood in Israel is pathetic. A lot of you sisters are not, you don't like each other. You hate each other. Y'all bring that housewives, basketball wives, bad girls club, and all that other reality TV mentality into Israel. Call into the 908 number, 908-444-6020. I'll answer it. 908-444-6020. Call that number. You texted me saying you call. Don't call this number. I'm live on this number. Call the 908 number. The sisters don't even like each other. I talk to sisters, and sisters are telling me they don't like other sisters. You just don't like them. You coming into Israel with that mentality? Come on, man. Somebody asked in the chat, was Jacob literally grasping Esau's heel? Well, we believe the scriptures as it is written, so we're going to say yes. And the symbol, and the reason why I say yes, in addition to the fact that I believe the scriptures as they are written, is the symbolism. I don't see any call coming in. All right, hold on a second. I got it. Let me just answer this real quick. The reason why we believe that it's literal also. Turn the thing down in the background. The reason why we believe in literally Jacob grabbed. The reason why we believe literally that Jacob grabbed Esau's heel is symbolic to Israel, Christ being our head, pulling down Esau at the end of his rulership, right? Because the Most High is gonna send his son Yahushua, Jesus Christ, to come and take America down. So that's symbolic of Jacob taking hold of Esau's heel, because Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning. And the Most High is going to send his son to take Esau down. So we believe in it literally. Maccabeestv, what's your name and where you're calling from? You're on.
Hi, this is Sisters of the Maccabees.
Hey, shalom. Sisters of the Maccabees in the building. Sister Malika, that's my wife, for those of y'all that don't know. What's up? You called in. You wanted to say something to the people so they can hear you. What did you want to say?
Shalom, everyone. Shalom. We're talking about health. I just want to touch on something about health. I do a lot of consultation with my people in the truth, and I just want to point out the three things that, based on my dealing with people and their illness in this truth, the biggest thing that I see dealing with my people is prostate issues with the brothers, liver disease, and gallbladder disease, and uterine fibroids and PCOS. Those are the four biggest things that I deal with our people on a daily basis, and I just want to point that out. That is what is ailing a lot of our people. Not to mention the diabetes, but those are the things. When it comes to liver cirrhosis of the liver. Okay, a lot of our people don't understand what that is. That's affecting a lot of our brothers. Uterine fibroids and PCOS, that's affecting a lot of the sisters. Prostate cancer is affecting a lot of the brothers. All right, so I just want to share a little bit of message to whoever is listening and watching on this live. A simple thing is what my husband just said, as cleansing and flushing the system on a regular basis will help a lot of y'all eliminate or lessen the effect of a lot of these illnesses. Just flushing on a regular basis. My husband and I do a flush every 3 to 4 months. We do a flush in our family. And I'm just urging you guys to do the same, because a lot of you guys would not be suffering from a lot of these illnesses had you just get up every 3 to 4 months and flush the system. And if you don't understand what a flush is, come over to the Sisters of the Maccabees on YouTube. Okay, that is the Sisters channel for this channel, and you'll learn what a flush is. A lot of you brothers are suffering in silence from prostate disease, all right, and liver problem, because unfortunately, liver cirrhosis is caused. One of the biggest causes of liver cirrhosis is too much drinking. Okay, alcohol, all right, and a fatty liver, and other, STD. So that's a problem. So anyway, I just want to, point that out. If it's very important to flush the system, do a cleanse. So get on over to the Sister of Maccabees channel and learn how to flush the system. I saw a couple of people in the live, in the chat, asking, how can we flush? How can we cleanse? Okay, my husband, I know he say this all the time. Go to the Sister of Maccabees, subscribe, and you learn something about health over there. Yes, you will. If you want to know what a flush is, what a cleanse is, go over there. I have plenty of videos over there demonstrating, talking about how to cleanse the system, how to flush the system. Gallbladder issue. A lot of our people are removing their gallbladder.
All right,
I can't tell you the amount of people that I've encountered that have come to me that have already lost their gallbladder, or they're about to remove the gallbladder. Okay, that's one of the biggest problems affecting brothers and sisters. You don't have to lose your gallbladder.
Wait,
it's a simple flush will remove the gallstone, and you get to keep your gallbladder, because when you remove your gallbladder, you're going to have a lot of digestive problem, and you're going to end up with stomach cancer. So, once again, just go over to Sister of Maccabees. If you have any question there, hit me up. I'm here to help my brothers and sisters stay in good health and take care of your temple.
All right, brothers and sisters, let me ask y'all a question. Excuse me. How many brothers and sisters? I want y'all to put it in the chat. I want you to put the number 1 if you're interested, but let's be serious. We're adults here. Let's be serious. If we were to every Sabbath, if we were to come on this channel, because she has the Sisters of the Maccabees, which she'll continue. If we were to come onto this channel every Sabbath and tackle one health issue and give you brothers and sisters herbs and remedies for that, because that's doing the Lord's work on the Sabbath too. Israel is sick. Christ went out and he healed the sick and all that stuff. We don't have spiritual power, so it's going to be done through the herbs. How many brothers and sisters would like a segment every Sabbath dealing with herbs and health? If you brothers and sisters are interested in that, put 1 in the chat. And every Sabbath at a designated time, Sister Malika will come on and she'll do a segment for about 45 minutes to an hour on the channel dealing with health. Listen, but if y'all brothers and sisters are not supporting it, if we start doing it, I'm going to pull it from the channel. We're not going to upload videos and be on here giving y'all information and y'all not going to be on the channel supporting it or whatever. This is not for entertainment. We're in a time now where this is serious. So if you brothers and sisters, the Most High strengthens, thank you for that donation. If you brothers and sisters are interested in this going forward, then I'm not going to ask her to do it today because I already had y'all on here for 3 hours now. But going forward, she can do a segment every Sabbath. She can come on this channel. She'll be on this. She'll be on her channel the rest of the time. But on the Sabbath, she can come on this channel, and she can do a health segment. So Malika, you're seeing the ones in the chat, right? So we're gonna test it out and see how serious they are. Are you interested in doing that, Malika?
Yes,
Now
absolutely.
Now, real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off. Like my battery is about to die shortly, so you know, I'm gonna put you on the channel so you can see right now in the chat what they're saying. All right.
Okay.
Joel, I'm gonna call you. All right, I'm gonna call you back. You're gonna be my last call because my battery is about to die. So Malika, I'm gonna go. And we'll talk about getting you on the channel every Sabbath. All right, we'll set it up as a regular thing. You know, and let's see how the people respond to the first few weeks, and we'll go from there. All right. So I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay. All right. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom. All right, Joel, I'm calling you right back. My bad. You're gonna be the last call.
Hello?
Hey, Joel, man, my battery's about to die. You're going to be the last call. Brothers and sisters, I have none other than my man, Joel Benjamin, 528, a.k.a. MC Spookism. The only MC that doesn't make no music. But we ain't going to talk about that. Go ahead, man.
It's Big Money Benjamin, gang, gang, gang.
Yes,
Salute
sir.
to Maccabeestv, Sister the Maccabees, all the other Maccabees channel. Definitely big up to your wife. Y'all are two people that I definitely, when it comes to getting wise counsel from, y'all two are definitely the people that I go to. So definitely salute to both of y'all and what y'all bring to the community. I heard you was talking about with the spirituality and fasting. You know I'm big on that.
I know.
I find in the Hebrew community, and I'm shocked in that they deal with the Bible. That is not something that's really, people are really big on with the prayers and the fasting. And that's why it's good with the health. Anybody that's on Maccabeestv should be on Sisters of the Maccabees. There's no excuse for that. Because if something happens, like you said, the information, you're going to have a target. People that bring this information have a target. Like me, people know I'm no longer a part of Nicholas Brooklyn anymore. But if they want to reach me, they can always contact me, call me. They know how to reach me on the different social media, Joel Benjamin 528. So we got to make sure we do our best to get this information. One of these days, I got to set up something with you because, I don't know what's going on. I ain't been on that channel for a while.
Oh, boy.
See some other...
All right, man.
Seeing some certain people that you ain't been on mine for a while. So you and the wife got to come over on Joel Benjamin 528 because the people need this information. You know what I'm saying? They got to put whatever differences aside and get it. Like I said before, you just said it. There's no reason why they shouldn't have mechanics in there, this and that, even making candles. Now, I like to light my candles. I should be getting candles or whatever from a Hebrew spot, just like your wife. She makes, got the wine. Like, we shouldn't have to go to these other places and get wine when we could get it within our own community. That's all I got to say. So, salute to you and your wife. Big up to y'all.
Yes, sir, man. Throw out it, bro, Joel. I'm going to call you, man. We got a bill. I'm going to call you.
Yeah, waiting on you. Later.
Yes, sir. Hey, fam. My battery's about to die. Actually, I broke my charger, so I got it charging, but it's not charging. I broke my charger yesterday. Don't ask me how. I don't know. So my battery's about to die, so I don't want it to die in the middle of me talking to y'all. And so I'm going to go ahead and... two braids. You could, I'm trying to think, man. Email me, Maccabeestv, same as the channel, Maccabeestv@gmail.com. Email me, Maccabeestv@gmail.com. I'll get you the information. It's the Sabbath, so I really don't want to do it right now. As a matter of fact, when Sister Malika is on, she'll tell y'all how to get all that stuff. All right. Also, you said something else earlier. I just want to address it. Right. You said that when babies are in the womb, they're sleeping, And I don't deny that. But you know, you do things in your sleep, right? You do things in your sleep sometimes. You can grab something in your sleep, you know what I'm saying, that you don't know. You do a lot of things sometimes in your sleep. You wake up, you don't even know how you got in that position or whatever. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily mean that he couldn't have been holding Esau's heel because he was sleeping. You know what I'm saying? I've seen children. You ever seen like a baby, right? The baby is, you know what I'm saying, holding on to something. It's sleeping. It's not, you can see the head nodding off like this, but the baby's holding on to something. Sometimes even the pacifier or the bottle. The baby has the bottle in his mouth. You try to pull the damn thing away, the baby's sleeping, but the minute you try to pull it away, it'll yank it out your hand, but it's still sleeping. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean he couldn't have been grabbing Esau's heel because he was sleeping. I don't deny that. I'm not an expert on childbirth, so I'm going to go with what you said that the baby was sleeping, but the scriptures say that he grabbed his heel, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. All right? Hopefully something that I was on for over 3 hours, hopefully something I said was beneficial to y'all. To those of you brothers and sisters that's just looking for a good Sabbath conversation, for those of you brothers and sisters that have some questions that I wasn't able to answer, some of y'all were trying to ask questions, I didn't see it. Here's what I want you to do. AOC is going live in 30 minutes. The name of their channel is called Alpha Omega Clan. AOC, Alpha Omega Clan. I'm not sure who's doing the class. I'm not sure if it's Hashar. I don't know who it is. But I know I saw that they're going live in 30 minutes on their channel, Alpha Omega Clan. So if you have any questions that I did not answer because you were asking it and I didn't see it, just go over to their channel at 12 o'clock and ask your question over there, and hopefully they'll be able to see it. I don't know if they're taking calls or not. They might be taking calls like how I'm taking calls. Hopefully they will, but I don't know what the setup is. But they'll be going live in 30 minutes at 12 noon on their channel, Alpha Omega Clan. So go over there and support my brothers. Thank everybody for watching. Thank y'all, brothers and sisters. I got up to 178 likes today. That's good. While I'm live, that's good. I appreciate all the support. Oh, look, we got good looking hunky in the chat. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. One of you moderators blocked that person. You know, I never understood what Tommy Sotomayor was saying until it started happening to me. You know how much work you have to do? You have to go now and create a whole nother profile. Once I block you, you got to go and create a whole nother profile just to come back. Why even get yourself blocked? You know that sometimes I'll be looking at videos on YouTube and I 100% disagree with the content. And I'll be wanting to say something so bad, but I know that the moderators in their chat will block me. And so because I want to have the right to still be able to watch the channel, because sometimes there's good stuff on it, I'll forego commenting. I'll just keep my comment or my opinion to myself. Some people are so stupid. You come on a chat and say something stupid just to get blocked, and now you can't even participate in any future conversations. You're going to have to go and create a whole nother profile. But some people, that's what they do. That's what they do. Somebody said the water. I didn't see who it was because the chat is moving kind of fast. You said the water. So whatever I did, all praise to the Most High. All credit goes to Him. I don't get no credit. I'm nothing. I'm a filthy rag. I ain't nothing. Oh yeah, that was the question somebody asked. I'm glad I waited. That was the question somebody asked. I don't know what happened to Kazawan. I know that there's a sister on my Facebook friend list that attends his classes. Now, my understanding, don't quote me on this, my understanding is Kazawan has classes. At least last I heard, he has classes. Then he has those videos that he uploads on his Tribe of Judah Teach page. He has, uploads that he uploads, but he also has classes weekly. Don't ask me where his classes are. I don't know nothing about that. I know somebody told me he has them. Why he hasn't loaded videos to YouTube in over a year, I don't know that either. I don't know what's going on. May the Most High be with him, but I know he was a very popular teacher, and a lot of people were edified through a lot of his videos. Because he's a very, he's very concise and meticulous. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything that he says, but he's very precise and meticulous and makes things, above all else, easy to be understood. So I don't really know what happened to the brother. Hopefully he'll come back soon. And actually, Kazawan had one of the best albums in Israel ever. That Tribe of Judah songs page, y'all know it. Them songs, every song on there is fire. And he did that like 5-6 years ago. I don't know why he stopped making music, because that stuff was fire. So I don't know what happened to the brother. I pray the brother come back to the to YouTube soon. But I'm not going to assume that he's not teaching. He may just not be uploading his videos to YouTube. Because I heard, like I said, this is years ago now, but I heard he had a class. So I don't know. So who's Demar Gorgon? I don't know if you're a troll too. Probably. So yeah, somebody said Ben Yahweh does said he still teaches. That's what I thought. Because I heard that he has a class. You know what I'm saying? Some people get disenchanted with this whole... If you've been on this live stream this long, well, most I'll be with you. First of all, you've been on the live stream since the beginning. Because I've been just rambling on. But that's what I was saying at the beginning of this live stream. You have some brothers in Israel that become so disgusted with what's going on social media that they just don't want to be on YouTube no more. Or they don't care about it as much as they used to. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that the brother didn't fall into that category, but I know he was teaching still. Maybe he just doesn't feel the need to put stuff up on YouTube at the moment for whatever his reason is. Yeah, I think this dude is a troll right here. Demar Gorgon, whatever his... Demo Gorgon, whatever it is, y'all might if there's any moderators left, I don't know if my moderators are still here, you can get rid of him too. You can go ahead and get rid of him too. Some of these things are not actual people. Some of those things are bots, just so y'all know, right? They have bots. They have like really sophisticated bots affiliated with YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. I noticed that I'll say certain names, like I did a video and I was showing Russian icons, and all of a sudden some dude popped into the chat and started typing in Russian in the chat. If y'all look at that video I did, I think it was the video I did called The Beautiful Truth, like maybe 5 videos ago. The Beautiful Truth, This Is Why They Mad, and I was showing some of the Russian icons and stuff like that. And if you watch the video, you'll notice at some point, some dude that was Russian, as soon as I said Russian icons, he popped into the chat and started typing in Russian. Because there are a lot of bots. Sometimes they don't be actual people, you think that they're actual trolls. Sometimes they're bots. You do realize, right, you can go to, they have websites you can go to and you can buy comments on YouTube, you can buy likes on YouTube, you can buy shares, and you can buy views. You can buy it, right? And it's a sophisticated program of robots that they create thousands of profiles, and they'll go on a profile, and if you bought like views, that program will have all the different YouTube accounts that it generates give your video a view. Right? Or give your video a thumbs up or a like or whatever like that. They have programs that do that. So sometimes you see these people coming into the chat and they're just saying some random stuff that's has nothing to do with what you're talking about. That may not even really be a person. It may be a bot. It might be an agent, but it may not even really be a person. It might be just a robot. Yeah. Yeah. Right. See, YouTube is owned by Luciferians. Right. Yeah, YouTube runs off a whole algorithm. All these social media platforms do. They all do. So that's why we're always asking you, brothers and sisters, to hit the like, because we want to kind of control which direction the algorithm goes, right? We want to bring the right people into the video to watch the video, not the wrong people. So that's why we always are asking you, brothers and sisters, hey, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. So that like-minded people can come in, other subscribers to the channel can come in and watch. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you know what it is? It's mine. No, actually, I'm cleaning off my shoe. Rib is asking me what's going on. I'm cleaning off my shoe. I got some salt. I got some salt on my damn boots here, so I'm actually wiping them off. My nice new black boots I had on, I'm wiping them off. So I'm not going to camp. I have one black boot and one white one. Somebody said, wait. I can't see who gave that donation, but thank you. Somebody commented right under you, and because I'm on the phone, nah, I couldn't see the question. Augustus, ask your question again. I got to get out of here after that. Gotta get some shoe polish for that. Augustus, ask your question again, and I'm gonna go. No, you keep asking me, did I see your question? I didn't see the question. Well, the Passover that we're keeping is actually April the 6th. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not on Facebook right now, but I will. JH125 gave the donation. Thank you so much for that, the water. When you're on your phone, cell phone, if you have your phone like landscaped, right? Sometimes you only can see 3 comments at a time, so I couldn't see who I gave the donation at the beginning, unfortunately. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Do me a favor too. Now, some of you guys, you have YouTube pages, right? And I don't recognize you when you send me a friend request on Facebook. I don't recognize who you are because your name is different on Facebook than it is on YouTube. So don't be offended. I don't accept everybody. So don't be offended if I don't accept you and you're a loyal, you're a loyal subscriber on Maccabees. It's nothing personal. I don't know it's you. So you might, if you send me a friend request, you could also inbox me, send me a comment. Hey, my name is such and such from YouTube. This is my account. So I know you. And I'll accept you because right now, last I checked, I have like 400 people that are waiting for me to accept their friend requests on Facebook. And nah, I'm good. No, I didn't see Sandra's interview with M. Fadishi, but I'm going to go ahead and check it out. I'm going to go ahead and check it out. After the Sabbath, of course. All right, family. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. To want everybody for watching. This is probably the second longest show I've ever done on this channel, I think, by myself. Oh, he said America is Egypt West? Well, spiritually, okay. I ain't got a problem with that. I'm just looking at the comments, y'all, that's all. Every now and then, the Most High will allow one of them to speak truth, even if it's just a tidbit of truth. The Most High will allow them to speak that tidbit of truth. And that was the tidbit of truth by calling this place Egypt West. In a lot of ways it is. A lot of ways it is. America's, especially the format for Washington, D.C., the obelisks in D.C., which they call the monument, and, you know, a lot of things that they borrow from ancient Egypt. Absolutely. Absolutely. America is, I was saying this to somebody yesterday. because somebody asked me about the prophets, right? They like, some brothers will say that we're the prophets, which we are. And then people will be like, well, how could you say that? Well, this is why I would say that I'm not saying everybody you see. I'm not even saying me particularly. When I say we're the prophets, meaning amongst us as Israelites, the prophets are here. Who they are will be revealed in time. But they're here. And this is why I say that. Every captivity that we've been in, the Most High sent prophets and righteous men and leaders to us in every captivity. America is a conglomeration of every captivity we ever been in. America is Egypt. America is Assyria. America is Babylon. America is Rome. America is Greece. Because America borrowed from all those people to make what it is. It took from all those cultures and has a mishmash. That's why the Bible calls this place Babylon the Great. The greatest confusion that's ever been on earth is here. Because America has stolen from all those cultures to create what it has. So you mean to tell me, in those captivities where we knew who we were as Israelites, we knew who we were. The Most High saw fit to send prophets to us in those captivities. But in this captivity, the greatest captivity that we ever been in, and the one where we don't even know who the hell we are, the Lord didn't send no prophets here, that's insane. That's insane. It's not even just dealing with logic. It doesn't make sense for this to be the worst captivity we ever been in, and the Lord didn't see fit to send prophets. No, what it is the prophets are here, and like the prophets of old, you reject them. Not you on YouTube, not you on the chat, but if the people reject them, like old. The prophets have to be rejected, like old. So yes, they're here. The prophets are here. The teachers are here. The elect is here. Who's who? The Lord will tell us that when it's time. So that way, not of pride. Can you imagine if somebody knew that they were that they were one of the prophets of old? Can you imagine? So every time somebody opened up the book of Jeremiah, somebody's like, well, that's my book. I wrote that. No. So the Most High, there's no memory of former things. No. But the prophets are here. There has to be prophets here. This place, man, the World War III about to pop off, man. The pieces are being moved in place. How could the prophets not be here? Israel is back on the earth. How could the prophets not be here? But you rejected them. So again, not y'all, but our people rejected the prophets of old, so they reject these now. That's all it is, but they're here. And what does it mean to prophesy? When somebody's prophesying, you're saying something before it happens. Prophesy is to say before. Say before. Before something happens, you say it. You're prophesying. Are we not doing that? So then we're the prophets. Not when I say we. I got to keep saying because I'm not saying me. But the prophets are here. Kayal Camaris. What's your question? What's your question? Yo, this salt will definitely, this salt and the snow will definitely destroy your clothes, man. I was out yesterday, just on a person. I was out yesterday. I got salt all over my black pants. I had on black pants, salt all over it, salt all over my boots, everywhere. I'm trying to knock all the stuff off, man. But I tell you, man, there's salt. There's something in the salt that they put on the ground for the snow. That's yeah, some strong stuff. Anyway, what's your question? Yeah, it's not snowing here in New York, but where I live, it's some snow up there. And also I deal with salt at my job for whatever reason, whatever. Okay, so you asked the question. You asked, why do we have to go into captivity if Yeshua was supposed to forgive the sin of Israel? That's a very, very good question. All right, I'm going to try to give you the most concise and compact answer I could give you in a short amount of time. So, number one, always remember that Christ himself, when he walked the scene, who was in power? The Romans, right? So Christ himself was in captivity. Although he was righteous and he was born without sin, he was under the Roman Empire, right? After Christ died, the Romans continued to rule. As a matter of fact, John was banished to the island of Patmos by the Roman Caesar Domitian. That was, okay, so you had Vespasian, then you had Titus, then you had Domitian. So Domitian banished John to the island of Patmos somewhere around 90 AD. This is after Christ died. So, and I'm getting to your point. So if Christ's death was supposed to mean we automatically come out of captivity, why were the disciples and them still under the Romans? Because Christ's death didn't signify that we were supposed to immediately come out of captivity. When you read the book of Acts, the 1st chapter, I believe it's the 5th verse. I could be wrong. Somebody could post it if they want to. It's Acts chapter 1. When Christ came back to the disciples, they asked them, Lord, will thou at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? They thought that once Christ died, like how you thought, that the kingdom was supposed to come right then and there. But that wasn't the way that the Most High had it set up. The way that the Most High had it set up was that the Most High had it set up that what Christ's death signified was Christ's death signified us being issued a new covenant or a renewed covenant. What is the renewed covenant? Israel, we as a whole, as a nation, we violated that old covenant. That old covenant that we made where we had to sacrifice to the Most High, we violated that covenant. So when Christ came in and brought us into the new covenant. And what the new covenant signifies, which is a better covenant with better promises. Why? Because under the old covenant, we were all supposed to die. Now, forget about not being in slavery. We were all supposed to die. I'm going to give you a perfect example. When you read Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter, right, there is a prohibition against idolatry. Every last one of us, at some point or another, before we woke up to this truth, unless you were born in this truth, you were worshiping an idol. Whether it be Caesar Borgias, whether it be Buddha, whatever religion you were into, if you were into Egyptology, whatever you were into, you had some idol somewhere that you esteemed as God. Or if you were 5%, you said you were God. That was your idol. You were your own idol. Or money was your idol. Or your woman was your idol. Or whatever you idolized, that's what you did. That is automatic death. Right? Stay with me. That's automatic death pursuant to Deuteronomy 13. When you go a couple of chapters over to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64, the Most High said Israel will go into captivity and we would worship God's wood and stone. So as a nation, we are guilty of the very thing the Most High said you were supposed to be put to death for under the old covenant. When Christ went up on that cross and died, he issued us a new covenant, a renewed covenant, under which now you could be forgiven for all things. Under the covenant that Most High made with Moses and the Israelites, you could not be forgiven for everything. If you were an idolater, you were put to death, which we all are guilty of. Some of us were into witchcraft in the world, and one way or another, you were put to death. Many of us men in the world, we committed adultery. Some of us did it openly, and some of us did it unknowingly, meaning that you got with a woman, you didn't ask her no questions, you lay with her, and that woman had a man. Right? Under the old covenant, you're supposed to die for that. And the list goes on and on and on and on, right? Of things you were supposed to die. Astrology, exactly. Some of us were into astrology. Under the old covenant, you were supposed to die. So we're coming from all walks of life that under the old covenant, you were supposed to die. So when Christ died, he issued us into the new covenant. And under that new covenant, now you can be forgiven for all things from which you could not be forgiven under that covenant that Moses got. When you read Acts 13, verse 38, it tells you, I'm giving y'all a precept, I'm not going there. Acts 13, verse 38. Understand that Christ ushered in a covenant for which you can be forgiven for all things for which you could not be forgiven under Moses. Because under Moses, there were certain laws that if you broke them, you just had to die. It was that simple. You're going to have some people that's going to come into Israel from the sin of being homosexuals and lesbians. You're going to have some people that's going to repent from that sin. Under Moses, you're supposed to die. Under Christ, you can be forgiven. So to answer your question, I know I went around. To answer your question, Christ's death really didn't signify the fact that we're supposed to just not be in slavery. That's not what it did. Christ's death signifies that now we as Israel can be forgiven for the sins that we may have committed in our ignorance. And so now we have to go out and we have to gather Israel and gather the elect and tell them the good news that they have been forgiven through the sacrifice that Christ made, and bring Israel back. And when Israel comes back and repents, then the Most High will establish us and set us up as a kingdom above all nations. That's when it's going to happen. There's a process to this thing. So Christ's death began the process. Right? Remember, when you read the book of Hosea, the first chapter, the Most High wasn't even dealing with the northern kingdom at all. The 10 tribes, he wasn't even dealing with them because they went into idolatry first. So the Most High said, when you read Hosea chapter 1, the Most High said they're not even a people to him under that old covenant. But when Christ died, now they were able to come back in. That's why in the New Testament you read about Israel calling them Gentiles. They're able to come back in now. So now we have to go out and we have to gather the Most High's elect from all 12 tribes, 144,000. And when that is established, then the Most High is going to send his son. His son is going to pull down all these nations and set Israel back up in order. And then we're not going to be in captivity no more. So there's a process to it. Christ had to come first and die. The gospel has to be taught. Israel has to wake up and repent. The elect of Israel has to wake up and repent. And when the elect of Israel wakes up and repents and comes back to the Most High, that elect, that number that the Most High has, then the Most High is going to send his son, and the son is going to come down and set the earth up in order with Israel on top. That's the order. So Christ's death didn't signify that we weren't supposed to go into captivity. And quite frankly, we as a people, we even when Christ died for our sins, did we not go back to our sin as a people? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Let me give you an example. 193 AD, the Roman Empire fell under Septimius Severus, right? You had what was known as the Imperial Roman Empire, and you had the Holy Roman Empire. There's different names out there, but those are the two that I go by, right? You had the Imperial Roman Empire. I'm going to get to your next question in a minute. Okay, I'll answer that because that's part of what I'm saying. You asked how many people is in that number. I'll get to that in 1 second. You had the Imperial Roman Empire, and you had what was followed by the Holy Roman Empire, right? And you had some periods in between. The Imperial Roman Empire, more or less, started with Julius Caesar. So you had Julius Caesar all the way up until Pertinax and Didius Julianus. So you have from Julius Caesar all the way up until 193 AD. That's pretty much the Imperial Roman Empire. From Julius Caesar all the way up to 193 AD. In 193 AD, Septimius Severus and Persinius Niger, you had, okay, 193 AD is called, I know I'm giving too many technical terms. Y'all can go back and, or if you're at home, you can open up another window and Google what I'm saying. You had something called the year of the 4 Roman empires. That was 193 AD. You had 4 Roman emperors in 1 year. The last 2 emperors standing was Severus Septimius and Persinius Niger. Persinius Niger was a black man. He's known as Persinius the Black, and so was Septimius Severus. He was called the African Roman Emperor. He wasn't called African because he was called African because he was black. And so the scholars call him the African Emperor. Take it or leave it. If you haven't studied it, I can't help you with that. Anyway, in 193 AD, we overthrew the Roman Empire and we took over. So what's my point? What's my point? How am I answering the question? When we took down the Imperial Roman Empire in 193 AD and we took over, what do? We kept all the same customs that the Romans kept. We did all the same things that they were doing, all the same wickedness that they were doing. The only difference was it was black faces. That's all. That's all. So we really didn't repent from our sins even after Christ died. So we still had to go into captivity. Them laws are still in effect. If you break the Most High's laws, the Most High is going to put you in captivity. And so because we did that, the Most High put our behinds in captivity. So Christ dying does not necessarily mean that we automatically come out of slavery. He told the disciples that in Acts chapter 1, I believe is verse 5. He told them that. Christ's death signifies that we are now entitled to this new covenant with better promises, so that we can come from all walks of life that we all come from, and all the sins that we done did, we can come back into the good graces of the Most High, where under Moses we were supposed to die. That's Acts chapter 13. I believe it starts from verse 36 all the way down to verse 38 is the point. That's where it tells you that. Christ was able to forgive us for things that Moses could not. His sacrifice was greater than the sacrifice of goats and sheep and turtle doves and all the rest of that stuff. That's what Christ's death signified. Now you also asked, what's the number? The number is 144,000. 144,000. That's pursuant to the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter. 12,000 from each tribe. That's the governing body of the kingdom that we're going to have, is the 144,000. When it speaks about the innumerable multitude that follow behind the 144,000, those are also Israelites coming out of all nations, but they're not the government. They're not the government. The Most High is only holding back the destruction until the elect are sealed. Who are the elect? The 144,000. How will the elect be sealed? Through the foolishness of preaching. That's why we go in the streets. We're not go. Yeah, you got some brothers that go in the streets for glory and fame, like some of y'all like to say. But at the end of the day, Christ is being taught. And people are waking up and knowing that they're Israelites. So whatever their purposes might be of doing it because they want to get fame and praise of men, some people, the Lord has a better purpose. People are waking up through that teaching. And that's how that number is going to be woken up, through the teachings of us going out in the highways and the byways, being on YouTube, doing classes, so forth and so on. You see what I'm saying? And so with that being said, that comes back to something I was saying earlier when I was saying about myself, how sometimes I was focusing more on doing that teaching outside of YouTube. And y'all are always telling me that I need to start putting my classes back on YouTube with me actually teaching lessons, in classes and stuff like that. And I'm taking y'all advice. Because somebody that needs to hear it may need to hear it from me. Maybe. So hopefully that answered your question. All right, brothers and sisters, I'm really going to go this time. And the reason why I'm going is because who said something about other nations? That innumerable multitude in Revelation 7 is not the other nations, it's Israelite. Israel was scattered into all nations. So Israel is going to be gathered from all nations. Acts 2 and 5 tells you that. Israel was scattered. James 1 and 1 tells you that. Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 64 tells you that. Israel was scattered into all nations. So when there's a gathering, the gathering is going to be from all nations, but it's not the other nations, it's Israel. Isaiah chapter 11 verse 10 on down, when it speaks about the Gentiles, it's not talking about the natural Gentiles, it's talking about the Israelites that were in a Gentile state of mind that was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. They're going to be gathered. The whole Bible is about Israel only. That's it. Nobody else. The other nations have their place. The other nations are going to be put in subjection under the foot of Christ, the apostles, and the elect, and under Israel. And they're going to serve us, and they're going to be happy to serve us. Isaiah 60 tells you that. They're going to be happy to serve us. And after we put them in subjection, we're going to beat their gods out of them. And beat that Christianity and Islam and Buddhism and Shango and Hinduism and everything else out of them. And teach them God's laws, to be obedient to God's laws. And when we do that, when you read Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, it tells you the nations are going to come and seek us out to learn God's laws. See, what brothers and sisters don't understand is we're not going to deal with the other nations unjustly in the kingdom once we get them to follow God's law. Once we beat their gods out of them and put them in total subjection under us and pay them back for what they did to us. Once we do all of that, we're going to teach them. And they're going to serve Israel. And they're going to be happy to do it. It tells you that in Isaiah 2. They're going to want to come up to Jerusalem and learn about the Most High. They're going to want to do it. So the kingdom is not going to be a constant bloodbath forever. No. It's going to be a bloodbath at first because we're going to have to beat these nations into submission. And in the process, we're paying them back for what they did to us. But once everything is established, the nations are going to be happy to serve you. The Bible says our gates are going to be open continually. They're going to bring us their substance. They're going to bring it to us. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I'm going to tell y'all something. I say this all the time. And I did a lesson on it once. The kingdom of heaven, we got a glimpse of it during the kingdom of Solomon. Y'all know that? The kingdom of heaven, we got a glimpse of it during the kingdom of Solomon. A lot of brothers and sisters don't know that. What do you mean? Danyaahla, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, let me tell you what I mean. When David was on his deathbed, what did he instruct Solomon to do? Number one, get vengeance. Everybody that was against me, get vengeance. And Christ said in Luke 19:27, those my enemies that I would not serve them, bring them hither and do what? Slay them before me. Everybody that came against, remember when you read about Solomon, right? Solomon's brothers wanted to be king. They wanted to be king. But David set Solomon up to be king. So when Solomon became king, what did he have to do? Everybody that did not want Solomon to be king was killed. Y'all do know that, right? Christ said in Luke 19:27, the ones that don't want him to reign, when he's set up, they gonna be killed. See that? When it was time for Solomon to build his house and build a temple, who was bringing him stuff? The other nations. The people who his father had good relations with. They was offering him things. Hey, I'll offer you this. I'll offer you that for you to build. Was they not? Well, Isaiah 60 says the Gentiles are going to do what when we set up? They're going to bring us their substance. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So the kingdom of Solomon gave us a preview of the kingdom of heaven. Go back and read about Solomon. From the time that David was on his deathbed and anointed him king all the way up till he built the temple. And what you're seeing, when you read later scriptures about the kingdom, when we set it up, you're going to remember, oh yeah, it says that's what's going to happen in Isaiah. When we set up, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Brothers and sisters, AOC is live. Alpha Omega Clan. Go over there and support the brothers, please. Go over there and support the brothers. Okay? They're live. Any other questions y'all have, I want y'all to go over there into their live stream and support them. All right? AOC is live. Their channel is Alpha Omega Clan. Anybody else that has any other questions, please go over there and ask them the rest of y'all questions. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got a guest coming on tomorrow. Most High will. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Shalom. Love y'all. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the donations, everything. Shalom.